others, and respect. During unprecedented times, first responders across the nation are working hard to keep us and our families safe. This week, we take time to pay homage to these selfless individuals across the nation, the ones putting their lives on the line every day for our freedom. First responders, the GNCC Racing Nation owes you it all. From the bottom of our heart, thank you.
Are you ready to go? GNCC Racing!
Hello and welcome to the 2022 Grand National Cross Country Racing Series presented by Specialized, an AMA National Championship. We're here at the Summit Bechtel Reserve in Beckley, West Virginia for the Rocky Mountain ATV MC Mountaineer, our 2022 First Responder Salute Race. This weekend being 9/11, of course, that is on all of our hearts and minds. Just 21 years after the events of 9/11. This is a special round that we honor our first responders. So very cool to be out here on location. But for those watching at home, wanted to let you guys know that too. We're out there recognizing those that serve and protect us here in this great country. Well, hey, the summer break is over. We're back to GNCC Racing, and you talk about setting the stage just when we thought, hey, Bryson Neal just might run away with this thing. He has a mulligan at Snowshoe, and just like that, Walker Fowler with a win comes out and is right back in this thing. Now, it's not as tight as it was early on this season as we come into today with Bryson Neal, 226 points on the season, and Walker Fowler with 215. So we're going to have to see some great racing out of Walker Fowler, a win, really. And Bryson Neal, we'll have to see where he stacks up. But you know for a fact Bryson Neal wants to get back to those winning ways. We will have to just wait and see how this one plays out. Is he going to separate himself a little more? Is he going to increase the gap between him and Walker Fowler as far as the championship is concerned? So going to be a great race. Hey, we call this last 4 rounds of the season silly season. So who's going to step up? Who looked at the first few rounds of this year, or majority of the rounds, and said, hey, I didn't finish where I think I'm capable of. I want to come out swinging. I want to end on a high note and carry that momentum into the offseason. So will we have some big names step up that we didn't quite expect to be in that top 3? As we look back, Snowshoe, of course, Jay Shadron had a great race out of the XC2, and Cole Richardson, a solid ride out of him. He's always a heavy hitter. And, of course, Hunter Hart, who put in the work this offseason. And we talked about Jay Shadron, that XC2 class. Jay certainly in control of the XC2 championship. Wyatt Wilkins sits second in points. Steve Harrell in third. Brandon Owens, Dylan Walraven. XC2 absolutely stacked this season. Will definitely put on a good show for us here today as well. So, hey, we're back at it. It feels good. We're at the GNCC. What can we expect out of today's track? We'll throw it down to Jared Bolton with a Yamaha track description.
Well, thanks, guys. We're finally back from summer break. And what better place to come back from summer break than right here at the Summit Bechtel Reserve. Beautiful Boy Scout camp. You know, every week I say there's a little bit of something for everyone. That's not entirely true here at the Mountaineer. This place is definitely a lot more technical. It's rocky, a little more like Snowshoe. However, unlike Snowshoe, the rocks here, they're loose, they move around a lot. This is a very rocky course, lots of twists, lots of turns, up, down, through little valleys. And guess what? No matter what you do, there's a little bit of mud out there as well. Overall, this is a technical, rough, tough course, not for wimps. Great track. Hope you guys enjoy it as much as I have.
Well, thanks a lot, Jared Bolton. Looks like we've got an incredible racetrack here today, as we expect, as we always have here at the GNCC. Summer break's over. It's good to be back. We're going to take a quick word from our sponsors, and when we come back, we'll be down on the starting line for our 10-second calls.
This Racer TV broadcast is brought to you by Specialized. Specialized Turbo e-bikes. It's you, only faster. And by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Get ready.
And want to welcome everybody out there watching on RacerTV.com here for the Mountaineer GNCC. You tuned in just in time as we are ready to get things rolling. And we're going to do our pro rider introduction. So here we go. After a long summer break, riding to the line first in points out of Bidwell, Ohio on the Magna 1 Motorsports backed Yamaha, Bryson Neal. Riding to the line, second in points aboard the WRF GBC backed Yamaha out of Rogers, Ohio, Walker Fowler. Riding to the line, third in points, the original Formula 88 Ithaca Recreation Sports backed Yamaha to Newfield, New York, Hunter Hart. Riding to the line, fourth in points out of Waxhaw, North Carolina on the Pierce Performance backed Yamaha, John Glotta Jr. Riding to the line, fifth in points out of Windsor, New York on the Fly Racing GBC backed Yamaha, Devin Feehan. Riding to the line, sixth in points out of Edinburgh, Pennsylvania on the Action Off-Road GBC backed Yamaha, the Coltrane, Cole Richardson. Riding to the line, seventh in points out of Casca, Pennsylvania on the JMR GBC backed Honda, the Sneaky Snake, the Cobra, Jared McClure. Riding to the line, eighth in points, West Virginia's own, the Ober Tires Moose Racing backed Honda, the Gator, Adam McGill. Riding to the line, ninth in points out of Akron, Ohio on the Merritt Racing B&R Motorsports backed Yamaha, Josh Merritt. Riding to the line, 10th in points out of Sunbury, Pennsylvania on the CBR GBC backed Yamaha, Chris Borich. Riding to the line next will be the 714 out of Pittsburgh, PA on the Bulletproof Doors backed Yamaha, Ronnie Rush. And finally, last but not least, on the retirement from the XC1 Farewell Tour out of Aurora, Ohio on the GBC Fly Racing backed Yamaha, Johnny Gallagher. And that, ladies and gentlemen, your starting lineup here for the XC1 Pro ATVs. And with that, I believe we're going to turn things over to Mr. Tim Cotter with a special presentation.
Thank you. We'll let these guys get lined up and get ready for today's pro race. Welcome to the Mountaineer. Welcome to Almost Heaven, West Virginia. You know, yesterday, our Governor Justice, signed a proclamation yesterday declaring today Bob Huggins Day. Bob Huggins is our basketball coach here in West Virginia and was enshrined in the Basketball Hall of Fame today. So I would be remiss if I didn't say Happy Bob Huggins Day here from the Mountaineer. We could have your undivided attention just for a moment, please. This weekend marks the 21st anniversary of 9/11. Just think about those of us that were here 21 years ago. It was a day much like yesterday. It was a cool, skies were blue. It was a fantastic day. And the first plane hit the tower in New York. They thought it was an accident. And then the next plane. And then the plane that crashed in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. And the plane that hit the Pentagon. On that day, all of our lives changed. Even those of you that were not born at that time, your life changed. You just didn't know it. But our country, through tremendous resolve, we have fought back, and we continue to hold the values dear in our heart that are important. And so today I challenge all of you to sit for a moment and think about someone you know that has served our country, serves our community, protects our freedoms, both home and abroad, and protects our communities. Standing before me are men and women from the West Virginia National Guard, the United States Army National Guard, and they are presenting the collars. Thank you, gentlemen. Ladies, go ahead, and let's open that flag up. Ladies and gentlemen, today, if you served in our military, if you protect or have protected our communities, we ask that you please come to the front row. Come on up here. We know that there are men and women that are racing with us. There are parents that are racing with us, and we ask for you to come forward. We have a special coin. They're called challenge coins, and we would like to present you with a gift. And presenting those gifts today, we have GNCC staff members. We have people from Specialized Bikes. We have Senator Mark Maynard from the West Virginia State Senate, who is with the Scouts. And so come on out, folks. Whether you are part of our starting line or you are around the circumference, we would like for you to come out and let us honor you and stand with our group here. These are men and women that have fought for our freedoms. These are men and women that protect our communities. They may be with EMS. They may be a local policeman or a state policeman or a DNR police. These people are what makes our country great. Put your hands together as the real heroes of our GNCC racing family are standing before you. We thank you for your service. GNCC families, I want to tell you a quick story and then we'll get started. But earlier this morning, I was stopped by an individual that had never been to a GNCC, and he said, I want to talk to you. He said, I can't believe what I am seeing. That when the national anthem played, that everybody on this property stood still. And so as we get ready to start our day here, we want you to remember the men and women that are before you and the men and women that have paid that ultimate sacrifice. So as we get ready to go racing, I'm going to step down and we're going to let Ricky Towery, as he does before every race, gets us in an attitude of prayer. So let's go to the Lord with Ricky Towery.
Thank you, Tim. Let's go to the Lord and have a word of prayer together. Heavenly Father, once again, we do thank you for bringing us all back together safely after a little summer break, ready to get back to racing and having some fun. Lord, do watch over these riders this afternoon. Keep them safe. Let them go out there and have a good time together. Lord, once again, we want to take time to thank the Boy Scouts for letting us use this piece of property to enjoy our sport, to have some fun on. Be with all the volunteers and the whole Boy Scout organization each and every day. Lord, we want to take time to thank you for all our military men and women that serve in the day and that served in the past, and all the first responders that's doing it today and has done it in the past, for watching over this country so we can be free to come out here and do what we love doing. Lord, we know 21 years ago, 9/11 did happen, and it changed our lives. It did. It changed the world. It changed the United States. And we just ask that you be with the people, family members and friends that lost ones that day. Lord, we just ask that you help us keep moving forward. You have for the last 21 years. That's the reason we've been able to keep going forward, because you've been watching over us and guiding us and showing us and telling us what to do. And we thank you for that. Lord, we just thank you for so many more blessings that you do for us each and every day. We just ask that when this is over with, that you would take us all home safely so we can get back together again one day to have some more fun. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
And now, if we could get the front row to stand with our heroes. And ladies and gentlemen, on this day, as we play our national anthem, let's all sing together. And let's think about how fortunate we are to have the freedoms that we enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Oh, yeah. Now, if that doesn't get you fired up to go racing, I don't know what will. You better check your pulse, because that was about as moving as it gets. Pretty daggone stellar, if you ask me. So, again, want to welcome everybody watching on RacerTV.com. If you're just tuning in, we just got wrapped up with our national anthem, our prayer. And as everybody kind of gets their position, gets their bearings about themselves, we are just about ready to roll here at the Mountaineer GNCC. Who's it going to be? Will Walker Fowler come out swinging after the big win at Snowshoe prior to the summer break? Is it going to be Bryson Neal returning to the center of the box, as he is still our points leader and in control of this championship hunt? It's silly season. Everybody knows it. Will we see somebody get up on the box we've not seen all season? What is in store? Will history be made here today at the Mountaineer GNCC? And DJ Judd, as he hops into the Yamaha, got to let him know, DJ Judd, remove the meat. There he goes. Jared Bolton, you make it a joy to work here. I love it. I love it. All right. The Monster Energy Activation Transport Port has moved out of the way of our starting line, and attention turns to row number 1, our XC1 Pro Class. And in just a second, Ricky Towery going to take control, as he does right here, and gets in position. 1 minute. 1 minute, and we'll be ready to roll here at the Mountaineer GNCC as Ricky Towery moves up into turn number 1. Man, like a well-oiled machine, Ricky Towery, man. I'm telling you what. Repetition, baby. Like robotic out there. As he looks down at the watch and the adrenaline begins to pump for our pro riders. All right, shut them down, shut them down, shut them down. As we are just about set to go. Shut them down, shut them down, shut them down. 30 seconds, and I got to ask you, Beckley, West Virginia, are you ready to go GNCC racing? Oh, that's pretty good, but come on, this is the mecca of off-road racing, West by God, Virginia. Are you ready to go GNCC racing? Seconds for row number 1, the XC1 Pro. And we're off. XC1 Pro Class, Walker Fowler, Hunter Hart, Jared McClure, Joshua Merritt, Devin Feehan. Who wants it? That's going to be Walker Fowler grabbing the whole shot in the early lead, but they're all over the rear grab bar. This one's close early. We turn our attention now to the XC2 class. Jay Shadron, who can stop that man? Shane McMillan, Grayson Eller, Brandon Owens, Kenny Schick in 10 seconds. Nick Royalty, Daniel Peters, Chase Allison, Wyatt Wilkin, Dylan Walraven, Stephen Harrell, and Tanner Walker. XC2 off and rolling. In the thick of it around turn number 1. Is it good and clean? It is. Rider out in front. That is going to be, man, I think that might have been the 259 of Kenny Schick grabbing the whole shot. Hard to see through the thousands in attendance. 265? Nicholas Royalty. All right. Got the confirmation. Row 3 in 10 seconds. Senior A, 40 plus, Zachary Phillips, Brian Axline, Dominic Manisi, Jeremy Gouchard, Chris Conklin, Todd Muscala, and Ronald Varndell. Senior A class out in front, grabbing the whole shot. Woo, that was close, but it looked like the 1-1-1 of Zachary Phillips out of Parsons, West Virginia. We turn our attention now to row number 4. That's going to be your College A, 16 to 21 in 10 seconds. Keaton Henderson, Alex Thyman. Oh, one more. My bad, my bad. They're trying. Didn't see our last rider there trying to get off the line, and they're going to move him to the side, and then we'll do our College A 16 to 21. Hey, you got to keep your head on a swivel, right? Whew. Had me nervous. Now Ricky Towery says, 10 seconds. College A, Keaton Henderson, Alex Diamond, Cody Forrester, Dalton Keys, Riley Solid, Christopher Howard, Trevor Furby, Ethan Meyer, John Ashcroft, Lane McCormick, Zach Knight, Parker Henderson, Lane Felder, Damian Hawkins, and James Glotta. Oh, a little checkup from the neck up right there. That's going to be the 029 of Keaton Henderson grabbing the whole shot and early lead in this one, but boy, did he have some company. As we turn our attention to the Junior A 22 plus in 10 seconds. Jeremy Ladon, Alan Blavos, Brady Myers, Bryson Mulholland, Henry Moore, Colton Kushta, Daxon Comex, Alex Elioff, Frankie Egris, Seth Wilson, Devin Masters, Corey Vandelander, and Caden Ryan. Through turn number 1 now. Oh, good drive around the outside. You're going to tuck to the inside. That's going to be the 8:05 of Corey Vandelander. Corey Vandelander with a whole shot right there. Vet A 30 plus coming up next in 10 seconds. Jeffrey Pickens, Brad Whitehead, Tom Coons, James Green, Jonathan Fugit, John Arnold, TJ Barrett, and Baby Mac Michael McAvoy. Vet A 30 plus jockeying for position. Who's out front? Who wants it? Waited all summer for this opportunity. And there he is, the 022 Papa P. Jeff Pickens grabbing the whole shot in the early lead in this one as we turn our attention now to the Senior B 40 plus. Rick Marino, Douglas Bailey, Shane Worth in 10 seconds. Greg Phillips, Jeremy Van Fossen, Jason Disco, Mike Reiser, Tim White, Robert Stevens, and Richie McCauley. Woo! Off and rolling, Senior B 40 plus. Oh, slip sliding for those watching at home. We've had sprinkles all day. That's the 110 Yamaha ride out of West Virginia, getting it done in the home state, Douglas Bailey. As we turn our attention now to the College B, 16 to 21 in 10 seconds. Michael Worth, Denton White, Hunter Godsby, Andre Williams, Connor Brandt, Caden Lambrino, Alex Goss, Connor Adar, Hayden Hunter, Bryson Bellamy, as well as David Witt, Evan Grannon, Gavin Temple, Xander White, Michael Horwath, Charlie Stewart, Nathan Fravel, who wants it? Oh, it's tight, but it's going to be, oh, that was close, but I think it was the 103 of Denton White grabbing the whole shot, an early lead in this one for the College B class. And we turn our attention now, our next row coming up. Ready to go in 10 seconds. Junior B, 22 plus. William Wallace, Trace Furby, Justin Cotter, Sean Newhouse, Dylan Stein, Michael Donson, Noah Howard, and Nicholas Blaney. Through turn number one they go as they make their way to the hole shot. Oh, it's good. A drive on the outside pays off. That's the 2-3-5 of William Wallace. Pulling the whole shot, an early lead as they head into the woods here. That B 30 plus coming up next. David Kite, Taylor Lizelle, Ryan Simmons in 10 seconds. Derek Hart, Joshua Horrell, Corey Pancake. Bang, and they're off. On the outside line, gonna pay off. Will it? Had the good lead early. Can he hang on to it for the whole shot? Looks like it. That might have been the 8:02 of Joshua Warhol grabbing the whole shot and the early lead in this one. Woo! And we got ourselves a clean and clear start line. You folks are free to move about the country. Well, coming up next, we got a little word from our sponsors, and when we come back, we'll be back on RacerTV.com. I believe Chuck LeMaster standing by. We'll be right back after this.
We all have our reasons to accomplish, to work hard. We share a common goal, to be the best. Keep fighting, put in the work, never take the easy way. Your drive and determination fuels our passion.
AMSOIL runs on freedom and has since 1972. We punish our products firsthand in our world-class laboratories and beyond, because some things can't be learned from a test tube. Run with us.
Ben Kelly here, 2021 GNCC champion. Subscribe to Racer X and get yourself a fresh FMF t-shirt.
Born of family values and a homegrown work ethic, Cometic Gaskets seals your machine so you can focus on the finish line. Cometic Gaskets are the competitive standard for racers who demand the very best. Cometic Gaskets are constructed from superior materials designed to perform in the most demanding environment, whether it's championships on the line or a day in the dirt with friends. Professionals and enthusiasts depend on Cometic. Cometic Gaskets, sealing championships since 1989.
This Racer TV broadcast is brought to you by Specialized. Specialized Turbo e-bikes. It's you, only faster. And by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Get ready.
Mountaineer GNCC here in the hills of Beckley, West Virginia. I am Chuck Leemaster with Team Faith, sitting in the announcer's booth, trying to bring you the live racing action here at just quiet for a second. Technical difficulties. We are good to go. Hey, we just saw it on the live on the screen here at mile marker number 4. While we were at break there, that Walker Fowler continued to lead this race. Cole Richardson was in hot pursuit right there, and then right after that, a pack of riders flew by so fast, couldn't quite catch the numbers there, but it was Walker Fowler with the early lead, and good old Cole Richardson in hot pursuit. So we will unfold, as this race continues to unfold, we'll bring you the live racing action. They are still quite a ways from the finish line. Once they come through scoring, we'll be able to get a good look at their transponders and see what kind of lap times they're running. We know that in 2 hours, we anticipate this being a 4 or maybe even a 5-lap race. We'll let race control make that call as this race starts to unfold. But for now, the weather here in West Virginia has been absolutely perfect today. It has been overcast, cooler temperatures, not too hot, not too cold. There's actually been a little bit of a sprinkle all day long, sometimes a drizzle, but it doesn't appear that it's getting down too deep into the woods. Out in the field sections, things are starting to slick up just a little bit. We saw in the 10 o'clock or the 11 o'clock amateur race with the 4x4 Pro and the WXCs, we saw them out in the field section starting to slide around just a little bit, but it was very predictable. Some of those faster racers in the A classes were obviously managing to make the most of the conditions. Some of our less experienced riders had a little bit of trouble, but as you can see here at mile marker 4, this afternoon's race is all pro riders, A and B riders, and certainly have the experience to handle a little bit of slick conditions. Goggle management comes into play in conditions like this. Anytime that there's a little bit of moisture, got to make sure that your goggles are staying clear, able to see. Obviously, the roost from your front wheels on an ATV are going to roost your own goggles, as Johnny Gallagher has so eloquently pointed out. And so I think we have a track map here. Taking a quick look here. We go from the start, and what we're looking at on camera was the 4-mile marker, which is not too far off the start there. You see just they bypass. They go through the 2, the 3, they hit the 4. So still a good ways from the from the finish line there, coming up to the 5-mile marker, going to cross across that power line that you see right there on the track, come down the hill, up the hill to the 6, out onto a gravel road, work their way around the 7. They're going to follow that ridge line there. Between the 6 and 7 is a pretty decent ridge line that they're going to follow the terrain and then cut across the top of that ridge on the 7, back down across the power line at the 8, come to the 9. And then from the 9 to the 10, you get to the FMF power point. You see there where it starts to get a little curvy. That is the FMF power point where things tend to get a little bit gnarly. And we'll be sure to have cameras stationed there so we can catch all the racing action there. From there, they're going to work their way through the finish line and then into the pro pits. So the pro pits are actually right after the finish line, positioned right between the finish line and the starting line there. So gas and pit stop management are going to be crucial today. You don't get to have your gas before the finish line. Today you're going to cross the finish line, then you're going to hit your pit stops. And so you'll see these racers, you'll see some of the racecraft that comes into the pit stop. You'll see that strategy start to unfold most likely on lap number 2 and number 3. So back to our Racer TV camera here, positioned out in the woods. You know, we're coming into this round. This is the very first round after a long 2-month summer break. And, of course, if you're on social media, you're aware that these racers have been out there. Heartland Challenge happened over the summertime. You know who's training. You know actually everybody in this class has been out there training. But coming into the summer break, we came to Snowshoe. That was the last round of the season, Snowshoe. Lap number 1, Bryson Neal had a heartbreak. It did not ruin his season. He still went into the break with the points lead, but instead of a sizable points lead, like a 32-point lead, he goes into the break with a mere 9 points in the lead. And so here we had a chance to catch up with Bryson Neal and see what he's thinking and what he's feeling coming into today's Mountaineer GNCC.
Hey guys, what's going on? Bryson Neal here. We're at round 10 of racing at the Mountaineer, Beckley, West Virginia, GNCC. We've had a great summer. You know, it's been a long one. It feels like forever and ages since we went GNCC racing since Snowshoe. It's been a good summer. A lot of work done. A lot of improvements, and got a brand new bike contest today. Did my best, and my old man spinning the wrenches in the shop this summer and trying to push the ball forward up the field and improve some things. And we feel like we did that. Championship got a little tight. We're 11 points up on Walker going into today. We had a bad race of Snowshoe. We snapped the swing arm in half, so we lost our cushion. But four races left. We love all 4 of these tracks. They're all 4 in our favor of the fast and speed and the way the tracks shake down and the flow of them. Hopefully today there might be some rain, might be some mud. We'll see. Hopefully it holds off. It stays on the lighter side. That way the racing is a little bit more faster pace and more straight up and not as much slipping and sliding and a question mark out there with anything that could happen. So other than that, we are ready to rock and roll. This bike, CST tires, DWT wheels, Elka shocks, Hauser A-arms, we are ready. We are set. The bike's ready. I'm ready. Let's get it on.
Well, there you go, friends. Bryson Neal from the horse's mouth. He is ready. Not bummed at all about Snowshoe. Of course, he would have liked to have a bigger cushion, but he's still coming into this round with 11 points of a cushion ahead of Walker Fowler. Early in the race, it is Walker Fowler who has the points lead, but there we're getting a good look at Bryson's pits there. Everybody looks calm, cool, relaxed, ready for him to go to work after a long summer break. What a way to go into that break. Go in and break a swing arm at Snowshoe, of all things. Break the swing arm at Snowshoe. Then you have to sit around and have to think about that all summer long, but he does not appear to be too terribly bummed about it. He's just ready to come out here, put his head down, and do the work that needs to be done and maintain that advantage that he worked so hard for 8 races to gain. Then the 9th race was a bit of a bummer, but he is still in the fight. As we saw at mile number 4, I think that we caught him in that pack right behind Cole Richardson. So here we are. We're set up at mile marker number 8, waiting for our leader to come through. If it stays true with what was already happening, I would anticipate seeing the white chest protector of Walker Fowler, the number 1 on the blue Yamaha. Expect Walker Fowler to pop through there and see, and then right behind him was we're figuring out our technical difficulties here. Sometimes all I have to do is turn up the TV. So now we're good. So anyway, starting to get joined here. Mikey Waynes is making his way back from the starting line. What a busy day. We're missing Rodney Tomlin today. I don't know that we voiced that on Racer TV, but Rodney Tomlin had a family emergency, taking the day off. You are stuck with Chuck Leemaster, and you are blessed with Mikey Waynes.
Oh, I would flip that for sure, no doubt. Chuck, first of all, I just want to say thank you for everything you've done to help us out today. I said, Chuck always pulls double duty with us, calls a micro racing, and then, Team Faith Chapel service on Saturday nights. Today, you're pulling triple duty. So for that, we are grateful.
Yeah, well,
thank you.
You know what? As a race fan, it's fun being in the booth. Sometimes make a couple mistakes. Nice to have a sidekick or be the sidekick and toss it back and forth. Certainly helps the flow of the conversation go easier. But just to catch you up, man, while you were making your way back from the starting line, we had a camera at mile marker number 4. We saw Walker Fowler come through. Saw Cole Richardson right behind him. Then there was a nice little pack, and we think that we caught Bryson Neal in that little pack.
Okay.
It was a glimpse. And but what we do know is that Bryson Neal is hungry to be back racing. Had a bad snowshoe with a broken swing arm.
Yeah.
And but he's happy as a clam, it seems. He's ready to put his head down and do the work that it takes to make this thing happen. So here we are at mile number 8, waiting on our leaders to make their appearance.
It's so interesting. We look at this season, and it feels like summer break lasted forever. But we were talking early on in the season. It was like, they're going to go 1-2 all year. It's going to be that first guy who finishes off the box who ends up second on the season. Well, we saw that happen in, round 3, where Bryson Neal got that third place, and we thought, is that going to be the difference maker? And then round 7 comes around after Bryson had been clicking off win after win, and Walker does not do well. Doesn't I think he finished, if I'm not mistaken, but he did not get 13 points. Oh, okay. So bad race for him. Finished.
I don't think he got points. He was last in class, but he was outside the top 20.
Correct.
So he didn't get any
so
points
no points awarded in that round, and suddenly it looked like, okay, now Bryson's going to run away with this thing. Well, you get the snowshoe. Bryson Neal goes full send, breaks that swing arm, and now it's an 11-point difference. So Bryson Neal. Is he still ahead? Yeah. Has he got a decent lead? Yeah, but it's not a guarantee because who knows what can happen in silly season.
Boy, and this is the last 4 rounds.
Yeah.
This is silly season. This is when everybody's talking about, prematurely talking about next year and looking ahead and making changes on their team. But Bryson Neal, we just had a nice little interview with him, and he was calm, cool, collected, smooth. I think his head's in the game here.
Yeah.
And but I also think that Walker Fowler's got his head in the game today too.
Yeah,
he
it's funny.
Ripped a nice hole shot and has his head down.
Yes. I don't get the opportunity with Rodney not here. Is this our leaders here? Walker Fowler out
in
front
the lead with the brown number plate.
That might be. Is that the Magna 1 Motorsports machine?
No.
So
no, that could have possibly still been Coltrane, but right there.
Okay. But what I was saying was when I don't get the opportunity that often to walk that starting line and see those guys pre-race. So everybody, fist bumps. Hey, Mikey, good to see you, man. Hey, feeling good today? Yeah, feeling good. Walker Fowler, dude, just laser vision, standing at attention, just staring down that starting line. I'm like, if body language is anything right now, I would be a little bit scared if I'm looking at the number 1 plate right now of Walker Fowler, because that guy looked focused.
Yeah, he definitely was. I had a chance to talk to him. I hustled over from the finish line where I was doing podiums for our 4x4 Pro and WXC, and hustled on over and caught Walker just before the prayer of the national anthem. Was able to say a quick prayer with him, as we typically like to do on the starting line, and then he was focused in.
Yeah.
And that green flag flew, and he ripped his hole shot. That's not been a guarantee lately.
Right.
But he's right where he wants to be for sure, and it looks like I'm pretty sure that was Coltrane right behind him there, right where he wants to be.
Yeah, Coltrane, I believe, coming off that 3rd place finish at Snowshoe, so I think that's where Cole expects himself. He expects to be a top 3 guy, and it's eluded him this season. But getting it done there at Snowshoe.
Yeah, 2nd place at Snowshoe because Hunter Hart got
that's right.
Place.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a swap right there. late in the race. But, you know, Hunter Hart, I saw him earlier today. He is hanging out at the finish line. I offered him a donut, and he said no. And
oh, my goodness.
He said something about having to do top performance this afternoon, and that wasn't going to help him. So he said no to the donut.
Love it.
Yeah.
Focus, man. That's the difference in athletes and me. You know,
yeah.
Because I wouldn't say no.
Well, you know, I went in there between races to get a quick snack, and I saw, ooh, donuts. Hard to say no to.
That's right.
What a beautiful look at our race course right here. There's a little bit of a rock garden at mile marker 8 where they're coming down the hill here. And you can see that there's a little bit of, we've had some precipitation today, a little bit of some sprinkle, some drizzle. And it's kind of soaked its way through the tree leaves, which are still fully on the trees, fully green, but still dripping through there and making these rocks a little bit slick and making for a little bit of mud. FMF PowerPoint at the mile marker 10. Nice little hill climb there. Sometimes our camera view doesn't give proper justice to how steep that is, but as you see these wheels losing traction, you can tell that's actually a really steep, and you see how people are leaned up against the hill, so you can tell that there's a definite elevation change right there. Nice and slick, it looks like.
Oh, it does. It does. I'm assuming everybody's been having good reports. The few people I've been able to talk to after the race said, man, great track, good trail. Not overly muddy, but certainly not. It's not dusty. We don't have to worry about dust.
It's not dusty.
There's no doubt about that. It's been a steady, just trickle all day long. So
yeah, it's been kind of wild the way that the faucet has just kind of been spittling a little bit.
The Gator up the FMF PowerPoint, and there is Chris Borich behind him, and was that might have been Johnny Gallagher. Not sure, not 100%.
Not sure.
Yeah, I don't think
he didn't
was.
have the number on his back. Usually Johnny has the number on his
You're
back.
right.
But
and there is the number 6 ride rolling through right there. Josh Merritt. Toward about the back of the pack. But boy, how about it right now? Walker Fowler out in front, and I gotta say he's not really pulling away from these guys too much.
No, he's definitely got company there.
So we'll see as our riders start chipping away at him if they're able to make up that time and get back up to him. So we're about 10 miles in, so we should be getting a completed lap number 1 here in just a minute, and we'll get an idea what we're looking at as far as gaps. There's Jay Shadron rocking the headlights. Love it. I'm here for it. He's like, I'll make sure you guys know who the heck I am.
That's a really good idea, because he's the only guy out there, so we'll be able to tell Josh Merritt that's him right there.
And I tell you what, Jay Shadron coming off that overall podium snowshoe, pretty impressive.
He was pumped about that. And his friends, his family, all the race fans, we were all pumped for him.
He just seems to be having fun this year.
Yes.
And I think it's such an enormous part of it, of his success over these last couple of seasons, the reemergence of Jay Shadron.
That's what it is, a reemergence there.
Look, that was Wyatt Wilkin rolling through the XC2 class. So getting our XC2 riders up here through the FMF PowerPoint.
The 622 there, that was Dylan Walraven. Yep. So it won't be long, and these guys will be popping out into the timing and scoring chute there at the finish line. Get a good look at transponder, see what kind of times they're running. I'm not sure if my laptop is actually working here to tell us what's going on.
Should be good once we click through the lap. Should be all right. So,
yep. Well, the this right here is the FMF PowerPoint at the mile. Okay, here we go. Finish line camera. Walker Fowler coming out of the woods there, and he has company. He is not by himself. He's got a little bit of a cushion.
Checks in right there. A little check up from the neck up.
Yeah, check up from the neck up. I like
behind me.
Ooh, that ditch right there. Okay, so that looks like Coltrane followed by Bryson Neal, and I didn't catch 4th place there, but look at that, flat tracking all the way around that corner there.
That's beautiful.
Completely slick, but every single one of these XC1 guys have the back end stepped out, hard on the throttle, and charging hard there.
So our overall doesn't want to show us anything. Let's see if we can break it down by class. Woo, getting tight there. Hunter Hart saying, excuse me, coming through. Pro down ATV Pro Row.
No, we don't have scoring actually on our laptop out here.
But it looks like,
look at my phone.
I believe we got Walker Fowler, Cole Richardson. I believe that's Hunter Hart third place,
Hunter
and
Hart,
Bryson Neal fourth.
Correct. Bryson Neal in fourth there. There we go. And Austin Abney in fifth.
Correct. Yeah. So Abney, my fellow Hoosier.
Yes,
a guy,
that's right.
You know, it's funny. I mentioned it before the race. I said, you know, silly season with this time of year, you get to a point where it's like you always have those riders that, hey, I did not do as well as I expected to do through the first 10 rounds or first 9 rounds of racing. I want to come out that after summer break, those last 4 rounds, and really put in the work and get the results. Maybe Austin Abney is that guy. You know, been in, I think this second season XC1 for him. It's time for him to start stepping up and turning what is, you know, 9th, 10th, 11th into 5th, 6th, 7th, and forward to take that next step. And I got to think Austin has looked at guys like Devin Feehan, guys like John Glotta Jr., even Hunter Hart, and saying, okay, that's where I need to be. That's the tier rider. I am ready to step it up to that next level.
Yes, and he's in good company. He's about 10 seconds back of Bryson Neal right now. Bryson Neal is he's only about 3.5 seconds off the rear wheel of Hunter Hart, and Hunter Hart is all over Cole Richardson, as we saw there. So they kind of freight train through there. Walker Fowler, about a 3-second advantage, so not by much. Just about what we could see right there on camera as he was checking in under the stop sign. Cole Richardson and Hunter Hart were charging around that final corner there, leading up to the scoring chute. So Walker Fowler has his work cut out for him today for sure, but he is exactly where he needs to be. He's in the lead. He certainly would like to keep that little cushion of Cole Richardson and Hunter Hart behind him before they get back to Bryson Neal. But Bryson Neal has enough experience right now that he's patient. He's not going to force it. Here we go through the rock garden. There's Walker Fowler making it happen. Quickly through the rock garden. Cole Richardson getting kicked around a little bit. Hunter Hart, and then on to, should be Bryson Neal right there. There we go in 5th place. I believe that was Austin Abney on his Yamaha. And behind him was John Glotta Jr. We should be seeing Adam McGill come through here.
Man, I gotta say that is almost snowshoe-esque right there.
That is. Well,
yeah,
hey, West Virginia.
Right. Yeah. We're definitely in WV, no doubt about that. But boy, it looks good. These guys putting on a tear right now. Walker Fowler trying to hold them off. Going to be interesting as we start to settle into this race pace. If Cole Richardson and Hunter Hart are able to hold off Bryson Neal in that 4 spot. We've seen it so many times this year where Bryson doesn't necessarily get the best start, and he's got to get the axe out and chip away. But boy, once he gets around those guys, don't blink, you'll miss it. Adam McGill right there. I believe that's Chris Borich behind him, just
Devin
duking it out.
It looks like Borich might have got around Feehan. I'm not sure. McClure should have been in that group too.
So McClure might have been the guy toward the back of that pack. Everybody got brown bikes, brown number plates right now.
It's getting more difficult to read.
Brown bikes, brown number plates, brown Yamahas.
Yep.
We get her dialed here. But nonetheless, Walker Fowler leading after 1. The Cole train. Is Cole going to be that guy who turns it on here late in the season? It's kind of funny, you know, there's been that coming changing of the guard, if you will, and you look at the points and it reflects that because, you know, Bryson Neal and Walker Fowler, everybody knows that's the big story. Those guys doing their thing out front. Hunter Hart sitting 3rd in points, and then you got we keep calling them the young guns. I don't know if we're going to be able to call them that anymore because John Glotta and Devin Feehan have absolutely turned this thing on. But here again, Cole Richardson, we'll call him an old wily veteran. He's one of the veteran guys at this point.
He's been doing this for a while.
So he's probably saying, I'm sick and tired of seeing these young pups get out there, get the best of me. Cody Collier joining us in the booth right now as our XC2 getting ready to come through here. Cody, talk to us, man. What was the track like for you here this morning?
Oh, it was gnarly. This is our 3rd year running on this track, I believe.
Yeah.
And we've dug it out a little bit. Now year 3 on this track. Now it's rock from the get-go for us. So
kind of got through the topsoil. Now we're down to the rock, as we can see right here at mile marker number 1. These especially with 4 wheels, just kind of getting pushed around and bounced around. And
oh yeah, you think about with quad, you got to hit everything in a 50-inch radius pretty much. Dirt bike, you can hit stuff 2 inches of stuff.
Yeah,
quad, you got to hit all of this.
Exactly.
So tire placement is key in this section, trying to just seeing how they're
and you don't have the ground clearance either, so you got to have a strong skid plate to kind of roll yourself over some of these rocks. Whereas a dirt bike, we're going to try and pick our way through the rocks.
Absolutely.
Taking a look as we were seeing some XC2 riders rolling through. Jay Shadron leading that one after one. Brandon Owens in the number 2 spot with Wyatt Wilkin in 3rd, and Stephen Harrell 4th, with Dylan Walraven back there in the 5th place spot. And pretty decent, not huge gaps in between them, but you got pretty decent gaps after one, with Shadron up almost 20 seconds on the rest of the pack already after one. Pretty impressive ride for him so far.
And that's actually not even a full lap. This lap is going to be about 3 or 4 minutes faster than our subsequent laps. This lap right here was a 27-minute lap time. So what we saw with the 11 o'clock was that they did like a 25-minute lap time, and then they went up to 27, 28. So I anticipate that we're going to move from a 27 maybe to a 30. Possibly, but I don't know, man. Walker Fowler's rolling,
no doubt.
He might pick up time.
No doubt. Cody, how'd you end up 4x4 Pro Class?
Landon got me today.
Oh,
second, threw it away.
By an inch. It was 0.487 seconds, I think it was. It was less than half a second.
And here is
at the finish line.
Chuck just pouring salt in the wound, right?
Yeah.
Let me have it.
It was man, I'll tell you what, that was an exciting race to call because it was a battle to the end. Cody Collier, Landon Wolf, and Brandon Fraser, they just put on a show. They put on a clinic. They pulled away from everybody else. It was cool to watch. Good old Cody. He had the lead for most of the race, and to his credit, it was not wreckers or checkers today.
Yeah, there you go. That's true.
It was points.
That's true.
Yeah, but I wrecked, and that took away my checkers. I put her it started raining on us on the last lap, and there's this one section that the rut was blowing away, and I came down it, charging on that last lap, I had like 5 or so seconds, I'd say, at that point on Landon, and just blew the downhill corner and put me right into a tree. Just misjudged it a little bit, got a little slick. Tried to hit like I was the laps before, and this rain is it depends on how much it rains. The rain seems to be on and off today for these guys too. So if it starts downpouring, they're going to be inching through, and it's going to be tricky. This track is tricky with the different terrain and the depth to the dirt and the roots and the rocks, and just all the variables are very, very tricky here. Add a little water on top, and it's worse.
So what's your strategy? Now you can let the secrets out. Now you done raced it. You're finished. What are the secrets for these guys out there? What's going to lead to success today?
Miss the holes. Just be smooth. There's just so many deep holes that'll catch you and throw your bike on the quads. It'll throw you sideways. Just lose a lot of speed. Just trying to keep the quad light, float, stay on top of everything. Miss the holes.
There you go.
So yeah, you got some holes full of water out there.
No, we 4x4s took care of those for these guys. So we blew those right out.
Well,
the track's really, really nice. It just got its holes.
Because I saw a lot of mud in your race, but that was from early on, where you guys were catching those mud holes, blowing them out, because the rain has not been enough to make that much mud. It was water that was left here.
It's tacking it up and slicking it up.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, we see areas where it's definitely gotten slicked up. At the mile marker 1 with all that rock, you can tell that that mud has been drug across those rocks. It's real slick right there.
And digging through all that topsoil, the little bit that was there, we dug through it. Now they're pretty much down to just rock and hard packed dirt, so it's that much slicker.
What's that do for tire strategy?
That's more throttle control, I'd say. If you know it's going to rain and stuff, you could run like a softer air pressure, like a lighter air pressure, get your tire more grip so it grabs a little better. But that's mostly throttle control and line choice. Just try and be smooth, carry that speed. Don't spin out. Don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Throttle control.
Same strategy as always. Throttle control, be smooth, be consistent.
Yeah.
Well, we're waiting here at mile marker number 4 with bated breath.
There you go. The Tomlinism.
Because we do get a good glimpse of him here. It's a short run, so for lap number 1, it was don't blink, you'll miss him. But here, kind of have a good idea of what's happening. Walker Fowler in the lead, Cole Richardson in second, Hunter Hart in third. Bryson Neal was in 4th by now at mile marker number 4. Yeah, we look fast.
Trying.
Yeah, see what happens.
We're improvising. So waiting on our leaders. Walker Fowler again, an early lead, man. Had about a 3-second gap on him and Coltrane when they came through with 1 lap completed, and you had Hunter Hart all over the rear grab bar of Coltrane. So how long can Cole hold those guys off? That freight train's coming. And, boy, the one guy you don't want behind you, there's Walker Fowler, pops on screen. Looks like he's right at about maybe that 3, 4, 4 or 5 second gap maybe. So turn it on a little bit.
But look
Cole's
at that.
still
We
in
got a
second.
gap between Hunter Hart and, well, they're evenly spaced right now.
Yep.
Because there was Bryson Neal
Jr.
And
Is that
John
John
Glada
Glada?
Jr. Yeah, I think you're correct. I think he got around the 703 of Abney. So Abney drops one position back to what would be 6th now, with John Glada Jr. moving up a spot.
But all these guys are still in eyesight of each other. They're still seeing everyone's line. So from Walker's line all the way to that 6th place spot, they're all seeing everything that's going on.
Yep.
And then at the finish line, there's a 10-second gap back to Adam McGill by the 1 mile marker. That gap had widened, and here it's certainly a lot wider than 10 seconds that it was earlier on. So our top 6 are running pretty consistent with each other, and then there's a pretty big gap back to the 7th, 8th, and 9th.
And what was the gap behind McGill?
McGill had about 10 seconds. I'm sorry, no, 3 seconds on Feehan. He was 10 seconds back from everybody else.
Yeah, that might have been a lapper there to cause that kind of gap. I don't know if that was a one-rider error. I think Devin would have been able to split, but you never know. Lapper's making it interesting on him already.
When you're on this quick.
Yeah.
You're only 4 miles into your second lap and already catching lappers. The speed differentials are just amazing.
Oh, very big. Very big step. Even from XC2 to XC1. You hear guys talk about it all the time. I remember, I'm not going to pick on my buddy too much, Austin Abney, when he jumped up from XC2 to XC1. I got, he's an Indiana guy. I'm an Indiana guy. So a lot of folks were messaging me, champ, top 3. I was like, man, slow down, because it's going to be a much, much faster pace. He's going to have that time adjustment. Yep. Josh Merritt going by on screen there. But, it's a huge step up to the pro class compared to what you run in the XC2.
Jay Shad, speaking of XC2, already caught Merritt.
Yeah, physically caught him on the track. So on timing and scoring, he'll be well inside the top 10.
Yeah, the XC1 class, I can speak from experience a little bit. It's a learning curve getting your the mental game right in the approach. Being a top XC2 guy, you're riding, everything's working for you. You come to XC1 and you're struggling to be inside the top 10, top 5 if you're lucky at the start. It's tough to adjust and stay on form and keep doing what you're doing, and you're seeing them adapt. Like Ronnie Rush this year, you're seeing him making some good progress.
Yep, no doubt about it. Well, folks, Walker Fowler in control of this one. Let's be honest, it's a must-win for Walker Fowler. Needs those points, those valuable points, as we look at the Magna One Motorsports. Your defending champ, Bryson Neal. Can he rebound, catch back up, and make this thing a fight? We'll be right back after this.
Last season was my best season ever by far. I won a lot of races. I won a championship, and it was also my first year using ARMA. And one of the things I noticed was just my ability to string good days together. Especially in the summertime in Florida, where you're riding every day and the heat index is 108 degrees and you're doing 230s and going to the gym and bicycle and all that stuff. I think in the past I've been super inconsistent day to day. Yeah, I may have a good race here or a good day during the week there, but overall I think where I improved the most was my consistency in my recovery.
Knotty Tires, a division of Greenball Corp, has been in the tire business for over 44 years. We're passionate about developing quality tires that perform great and bring extraordinary value to our customers. Whether you're looking for a tire that can handle your off-road adventures, need a reliable tire to take you from job site to job site, or simply want a tire with a beefier look that won't break the bank, then check out Canati Tires.
USMCA has been connecting riders to certified coaches since 2016. There are over 300 active certified coaches on motorcyclecoaching.org, and we recently launched our new mobile app, making it easy to connect with a coach and book your next training session. So here's what you do. Download the Motorcycle Coaching app, then search for coaches and upcoming classes. Once a training session is booked, riders have the option to pay for their class and even get a calendar reminder that will automatically sync to their phone. Get connected today.
Even when you're the best, you never stop striving to be better. With over 40 years of experience in motorcycle sales and service, we know racing. Our inventory of Yamaha motorcycles, sport bikes, dirt bikes, ATVs, and side-by-sides is extensive and constantly changing. Stop by LoJack Cycle Sales today in Tarentum, Pennsylvania, and visit our online inventory at www.lojacks.com. Yamaha YZs. It's why we ride.
How would you like to go to a school where we take into consideration how students learn best? Well, we do that because we find if we can build the curriculum around the things you are interested in, you're going to do a better job. The mission at On Track School is that educational success is possible while chasing your dreams. Not only will our staff help students to achieve success, they will cheer you on to the finish line. We encourage you to check out On Track School at ontrackschool.com, where we can help you chase your dreams and still get a quality education.
OnTrackSchool.com. Check it out.
Yeah, obviously after snowshoe, it's always good to take a break, mentally and physically, just kind of get everything cleaned up because that snowshoe mud will absolutely ruin stuff if you let it sit on it. But yeah, it took probably 4 or 5 weeks to myself. Enjoyed some of the other things in life that we don't usually get to enjoy, and yeah, just started kind of easing back into riding, you know, a couple days a week and maybe some light jogs and what have you. And then, about 6 weeks ago, 5-6 weeks ago, really, you know, nose to the grindstone. And I think we're going to get interrupted here by Adam McGill. Oh, no, we're not. Anyway, just, yeah, like I said, 5-6 weeks ago, nose to the grindstone. And, yeah, got back in the gym, started, you know, longer runs, you know, at least 2 hours of cardio every day between riding and some other form of exercise and lifting. And then, yeah, here we are. We're already here. It seemed, I know everyone says that the break seems like it was really short or really long, but for me it was really short. And yeah, I'm excited to get these last 4 out of the way. Obviously, a neck-and-neck battle between Bryce and Neil and I, and it's what the fans wanted to see. So I'm glad that, you know, we were able to close that points gap up and have a good race at Snowshoe. Unfortunately, he had some issues, but it's going to make for an absolutely intense battle for the fans the last 4 races for sure. So yeah, obviously I just feel like I don't have anything left to prove. I want to break the records, and I want to be, you know, the best of all time. But at the same time, at a 7-time champion, 71 or whatever career wins, I've had a phenomenal career, and you know, if I would never line up again, I feel like I've done what I wanted to do. So pressure's off. I have nothing left to prove. I just need to go out there and have a good time and remember why I raced four-wheelers. It was a hobby. It was something I loved and enjoyed, and it's so refreshing to see kids, you know, still rooting for me and see, you know, that little twinkle in their eye of, you know, I'd love to be that guy when I grow up. And, you know, at least for me, that's what I do this for. You know, I'll be 30 years old at the end of this season, and I love what I've done, and I hope I have a couple more good fights left in me.
That was a cool interview. That was, I was watching that as a fan. Like, really good to hear things Walker Fowler saying. Took some time on summer break to do some stuff that, you know, we don't normally get to do. Took some time to himself chilling. He did downplay the wins, though. I mean, he knows he's got 71 wins. He knows that Chris Borich has 75. He wants at least 4 or 5 more of them. But Walker, hey, he's probably the master at some of those mind games. That might be what he's doing there. But I don't know. He said he's turning 30. That's about that point in life where you start reflecting on things a little bit more than you used to. So maybe he is turning into the old man. He is getting some grays. I'm just saying. Some gray hair.
The stress that he's been under, carrying that number 1 plate for so long, that'll give a 25-year-old some gray hair.
But he was right. I don't think he's got anything left to prove. I think he's going to go down greatest, maybe, but definitely one of the greatest.
Yeah.
I think, but we'll see. We'll see when he hangs it up and says he's done, where he stacks up.
He's
got to be in the conversation.
75, right?
75, Chris Borich.
Yeah. That's a big number. That's a heroic number there to carry around. So I know he's got to be thinking about it, but he's too smart to say something about it because he's got to focus on today, and he's got to get through this and do the job that needs to be done today.
That's it. Griff Cotter just texted me. He said, "Hey, I've got gray hair at 30, and I've never held a number 1 plate." Me either, dude. I'm pushed. I'll be 37 next month. So.
All righty then. No problem. Mile marker 8. You remember this, Cody?
I think so. Maybe if I get another angle of it, but yeah, it's all gnarly.
It's all gnarly.
It's all gnarly. look at all the switchbacks coming down the hill with the mud developed there and the rocks they're having to jump over down that hill. Trying not to frame out. I mean, look at the conditions we're having right now. All the rocks, moss. Beautiful terrain to ride here.
You're coming down to that power line right here, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I know exactly where this is at. Okay.
So yeah, it could definitely get a little sketchy there with those slick rocks sticking up there, and you got some roots in there. Hey, this is GNCC racing. This is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
Mm-hmm.
So,
just about 50 minutes into this one, a little more than that. Walker Fowler, that's the guy we're looking for. Is it going to be one of those races where Walker Fowler, from start to finish, gets it done? And if he does, that'll really make things start looking interesting here as far as the championship is concerned. Again, the magic number 11. 215 points for Walker Fowler, and 226 for Bryson Neal is what separates them for the championship. So
yeah, I've never been good at math. I think I added that up as 9 points between them. It's actually 11.
It is 11. Yes, can confirm. Yeah, can confirm.
All right, so stretch it out just a little bit more.
And kids, we're doing that in our head. We didn't even have to pull the phone out to do it.
I didn't. No, maybe I should have.
Probably. It has made my phone has spoiled me, because where I used to be able to tip 20% down to the penny in my head, now I'm like, okay, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Walker Fowler, and just increasing that gap.
Just a little bit, by a couple of seconds.
Yeah, they're just missing a couple of his lines here and there. Howie's hitting the ruts.
Exactly.
Just missing it.
Look
Hunter's
at that, but it's
Coltrane
and Hunter.
Now. B-Neal.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep, still.
Junior keeping him close, keeping him honest.
Look at that.
Absolutely.
Junior, man, that's an impressive ride today for.
It's a standard for him this year.
Yeah,
this is a standard junior ride this year. Abney looking good.
Abney hanging in there.
Yeah. This is a track you should ride well at. Really technical track. He's a technical rider for sure.
I owe my fellow Hoosier an enormous apology. I missed him on the starting line. How on earth I missed him, I don't know for pro intros. So Austin, I am so sorry, my buddy. I'm gonna get you a case of beer or something to make up for that. But yeah, and maybe it motivated him though. Maybe he's like, okay, Mikey wants to snub me. I'm gonna go out here. I'm gonna get me a top 5 at least. So I don't know. Maybe it lights him after this. He might be. Don't introduce me on pro row introductions, because I seem to do better. So, but yeah, he's rolling right now and staying with them. Thing about Abney, we've seen him up there before in the past at some races, but he falls back. So is today the day? We're getting close to that halfway point. Is he able to hang in with those guys? And Cody, you can speak. Well, both of you can speak to this as riders. It is so. I'm not going to say easier, but it is easier, for lack of a better term, when you're up front with those guys. You can key off of them. You can see what they're doing.
When you can
know
see
the lines,
pace, you can run the pace.
There you go.
Yeah, for sure. All these guys have the ability to run that pace. Just seeing it. Here's Devin around the gill. You're going to see him start closing in, start putting in some good times. Yeah, no, this track actually kind of limits your pace. How technical it is. It's hard, smooth, slow is smooth, and smooth is fast here. It's really tricky to try to make up time and not lose any time. When you're trying to run the edge here, you risk losing time very easily, trying to make up any time. So, smooth is fast. Smooth is fast here.
Smooth is fast. Loving it. XC1 rolling through, waiting on Jay Shadron. Did we see McClure?
I did not.
Did we miss McClure? We might have missed McClure. Well, maybe not. So Borich, looks like Borich might be on the move a little bit here.
Is that Jeff Hunt? Is that Jeff Hart up at the top there? There goes Walker Fowler on up the FMF PowerPoint at the mile marker 10. Boy, he made quick time between 8 and 10.
The 9 to the 10 is a fire road, and you're probably fourth tapped on a square quad.
Goodness.
It's a fun little section.
We saw that on the track map,
section. Nice change of pace. All the 8 miles, 9 miles up to that point
technical.
are super technical, and then you get that little breather right before the finish.
Up the hill, down the hill is basically what they're doing there.
Yep. They just a little quarter mile there off the AM track. They had that uphill and that off camber there is really nice with some different terrain and dropping right back into the track.
Off screen now, but in the yellow shirt was Jeff Hart, Hunter Hart's dad. Always putting himself in a good position to give signals, or I saw he had goggles in his hands there, whatever Hunter's going to need, and that's so crucial for any of these riders out there to have a support system.
I remember racing Hunter Hart in youth. I would see him 3 times a lap on the youth track. He'd just be everywhere. I don't know how he gets everywhere so fast.
Hustling. Well, he's also 7'5".
Yeah, he's got a long stride.
Long strides, man. Long strides. My goodness. So
well, that's been his thing. He's always been able to be at the right place on the track, and you see him multiple times, and dedicated. One of the best out there for sure.
Here's Feehan trying to close in. He's got some fresh air.
Yeah, getting a line pointed there, but I'm not really sure how helpful that is.
The right line's absolutely garbage. I looked at it when I was where he's standing. It's not. There's no reason to ever hit that line. So it's slow. You would never make a pass. It's just
not
doing everyone a favor standing there.
That makes sense.
So.
Makes sense. Chris Borich right there. So yeah, Feehan did get around Borich. And McClure is the guy we were looking for, the number 3 machine.
Snake.
Where you at, Cobra? Coming up through this FMF PowerPoint. Walker Fowler still a good battle out front. Top 4 all within striking distance. For how much longer getting to that halfway point? I love when it's this close with those top guys, because then we get down into the pits and it's like, oh, here we go. You know, the mechanics, everybody getting a little nervous. Okay, we got to be flawless. Can't afford to screw up here. So we'll see when we get to that point how things shake up. I think just did the voiceover, Jay Shad.
All right, past McGill.
Yeah, you're right.
He's on a tear.
Just did a voiceover for the race where, what was it, Neil got around Walker Fowler at the end of the pits. Right there at that little left-hander. And what a pass. What a race those guys were putting on. So maybe we got some more of that in store for us here today as a number 6 Josh Merritt rolling by there.
Yeah, good for Jay Shadron there. All right, coming out to the finish line to see Walker Fowler making his way through the chicanes, and he is by himself right now.
Wow.
Just out of sight.
Not a lot of room between the 10 and the finish line here. Wow.
Now these guys are in a battle, maybe slowing each other down a little bit. Cole might be starting to race behind him a little bit, and Walker's just
taking advantage.
Trying to walk away.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He needs to. If that's
Neil goggles are off. It looks like Junior's closed in on the pack. Nice little wheel tap there. Look how slick it is.
Yeah.
Look at these guys just dancing
completely
around.
Flat track. Okay, pit stop for number 1, Walker Fowler. Sliding it in sideways there. Goggles are off. Getting some freshies put on him right here. Should have started the stopwatch on this, because this looks like it's going to be an 8-second pit stop. Impressive. It's in and out and nobody else in sight. Here comes Hunter Hart's pit crew is ready.
Mom's got it dialed.
Yep, there comes Hunter. And I assume Cole Richardson was on up ahead of him there, farther on down pit row. Oh, that was a fast stop.
I'm interested to see who doesn't pit here, if anyone opts to not pit this lap.
Yeah, this would be the beginning of the 3rd lap. So they about have to stop here.
Jared McClure's pit, Adam McGill's pit right there next to him. There's Big Sexy, our buddy out there. Hey, he got to be honored. We recognize our first responders, so we had he was out there getting honored with his fellow firefighters and police officers, our military servicemen and women. That was pretty daggone moving on the start line. Very cool. Did that for the AM race and then the pro race, and it's like, man, I don't know how we follow that. That was just, that got the adrenaline going. No doubt about that. Pretty cool. And boy, he's got the firefighter mustache.
He does, doesn't he? He got the Fu Manchu.
My goodness.
It's growing good. He looks like the kind of firefighter you want coming to your rescue when you need a firefighter.
He is low-key like the unsung celebrity hero of GNCCs on Saturdays. I love him. He gets so much camera time. He gets more than us.
He does.
Okay, he's smiling. He's like, yeah, I know. Sign autographs after the race.
Right.
Waiting. So it looked like we know Walker pitted. Suman Cole did. Cole's down there at the end of the pit, I believe, with Bryson Neal. And I think I saw Bryson Neal's pit, the Magna One Motorsports guys out there. So I think everybody we can see at least is stopped for a pit. There is the number 7 rider, Devin Feehan, into the pits, getting some fuel. But boy, you talk about a gap in the XC1. Need to take a look here and see where that puts Jay Shad from the XC2 class. Computer loading. I might tell you what, we're going to switch it old school. We'll just check live timing and scoring and talk about it from there. How about that? So,
well, this being lap number 3, the white flag should actually be out.
Well, they're still lap 2, right? I have not checked in for a completed lap 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the beginning of lap 3.
Beginning of lap 3. Yeah, correct. Yep.
Through the rock garden.
Man, Walker Fowler.
Yeah,
smooth.
absolutely.
So smooth.
I think some rest might have done him well over summer break. Getting his mind right as he comes back out here after summer break. And let's see how it's go time now.
Yeah. These guys are going to have to make their way around. It looks like Coltrane might have fallen off just a little bit there. His gap now is 13.5 seconds between Walker Fowler and Cole Richardson. His lap time, yeah, everybody's running the same lap time. Cole Richardson, Hunter Hart, Bryson Neal, John Glotta.
There's Abney. Abney's still not too far off of him. He's trying to hang in there with those boys.
Just out of eyesight in some sections, I think. But he's right there for sure. Get blood in the water. He's still there.
Yep.
So Jay Shad 11th. Well, wait, they don't have him checked in yet. Let me switch back and see if it'll update for me here. Jay Shad 9th in the overall now out of the XC2 class, with McGill just in front of him in 8th, 7th, Devin Feehan, Glotta Jr. in 6th. Abney still in that number 5 spot. About a 15-second gap, so got some work cut out for him, and you may have some company here soon with John Glotta not too far behind, about a 5-second gap there. Hunter Hart still in 3rd. Be Neal behind him. So Neal, Hart, Richardson, they got to turn it on. They got to get moving, because Walker Fowler, it seems like as each minute goes by, he's adding seconds to that lead. And you know Bryson Neal back there in 4th is doing the math in his head going, all right, boys, we need to hook up and go, or you need to get out of my way. I got to go get that man.
Yeah, that first lap was 27 minutes. The second lap was 29:35 for Walker Fowler. So a couple minutes, 2.5 minutes slower, because the track was obviously a little bit longer than coming from the start line. But what we're seeing is Cole Richardson, Hunter Hart, and Bryson Neal are all running about the same lap time. Austin Abney right in there with them. I got to think that you were probably right, that Cole Richardson is starting to slow down just a little bit,
slowing up a bit,
and that's checking up Hunter Hart and Bryson Neal, and they're gonna start to get the urgency that I got to get around Cole Richardson here.
Like you were saying, Cody, where do you look for the opportunity? You was talking earlier when we were at commercial break, a lot of almost single track out there, the way they've got it set up this year. Where do you find the opportunity to make a pass?
Yeah, like I said, this is our 3rd year running this course, and a lot of the good lines have been taken, that avoiding the big logs and rocks and stuff, and the course was marked pretty much where that was the main line, and that's where you're going to go. So not a lot of room to make a lot of passes in some sections.
In other words, you're going to kind of have to force the pass.
You get lucky here and there. They make a bobble. These sections are tricky. There's a lot of split lane sections. But on that last lap, there's 2 of them I hit perfect, different line than Landon. Like I don't know how much smoother I could have hit that line, and just didn't make up a second on them. And so it's just you gotta see something or make something out there. Just cut a corner here or there. See something else no one else has seen yet. It's tricky.
Well,
it's tricky.
You gotta be going around every lap looking for, all right, next lap, if I'm at this place with them right in front of me, this is what I'm gonna do.
There we go, waiting on leaders at the Method Race Wheels Method Alley. And Walker Fowler, boy, been in control so far, looking like the Walker Fowler of old. Turning back the clock. He said, I went into summer break, chilled to myself for about 4 or 5 weeks, and then went back to work. That's pretty much what I did. I chilled for a few weeks, and then I started running, 2-3 miles a day. No, not at all.
Not at all.
Not even a little bit. No, but whatever he did, boy, it's worked for him. It's so interesting. You can certainly overtrain. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You can overtrain. We see it in some guys. Epstein-Barr comes to mind with some of the riders. Not uncommon of just overworking themselves, and sometimes to get faster, you got to kind of return to your center and find yourself and get out of your own head, if you will, and just have some fun. And maybe having fun has been going to be the recipe for success for the rest of the season for Walker.
Could be. It seems like the winter time is a good reset, as most GNCC racers pull the shotgun out and go, or the deer rifle out and go set out in the woods, and that's a good reset time. But over the summer, it's like, nah, man, we're going to start racing before you even know it. I got to stay on it, stay training, got to, run my 10 miles every day and whatever else they're doing. It seems like it's really hard to slow down in the summertime. But the summertime, with the heat, you can definitely overtrain. So Walker Fowler, chance to sit back, relax a little bit, regroup. That might have been a smart thing for him. He's definitely looking good today. Halfway through the race.
Yep.
So still a lot of racing left to go. About an hour of racing left to go. Here we go.
Nope.
Popping up.
Lap traffic.
Nope. Lap traffic there. I saw Blue. You're my boy, Blue.
He's happy right now. He's like, hey, they thought I was Walker Fowler.
Yeah.
Man, I was doing good. We'll take a look at some of these other classes while we wait on the riders. If they pop in there, jump in and interrupt me. XC2, Jay Shad leading the way. Brandon Owens in the number 2 spot. Stephen Arell in 3rd. Wyatt Wilkin 4th. And Dylan Walraven rounding out that top 5. And we take a look here at the College A.
This College A class is always a good one. It seems to be a feeder for that XC2 class.
Yeah. And Lane McCormick leading the way on a bike that I understand he didn't have really a lot of seat time on. Just got that thing ready this week, and it must be dialed. I'm not 100%. It might be.
Hey,
could be.
Never know. His mom being Alicia McCormick, who has the WXC championship under her belt, and speed runs in the family there.
That's it.
Little brother Ryder McCormick was winning a race earlier this morning in the youth race. So nice to see Lane up there in the top spot in that College A class.
Talented young men. Damian Hawkins in the 2 spot. Thyman in the number 3 position.
The GNCC.
Oh, yeah. Boy, good to see Hawkins doing well. He's had some ups and downs over the last couple seasons. See him get it dialed here. Ashcraft in the number 4 spot, and Furby back in the number 5 position. Dalton Key 6th. Keaton Henderson 7th. Peyton Henderson in the number 8 spot with James Glotta, in the number 9 spot. And Knight rounding out your top 10 as we take a look here.
These are all names that you used to read in the youth class, and then you were reading them in the schoolboy class in the 10 o'clock time slot, and now it's cool to see them in College A. We'll be reading them in the years to come in XC2 and XC1.
No doubt. Vandalinder leading the way for your Junior A 22+. Alex Elioff in the number 2 spot. Jeremy Ledon back in 3rd with Seth Wilson 4th, and Brad Mulholland rounding out the top 5 for your Junior A 22+.
That's Corey's first ride in the Junior A class.
I wondered that.
Yeah, he just came of age. just came of age over the summer break.
To run a 450 now, huh?
The Junior A. He was running the College A beforehand.
Yeah.
The 24 plus.
Oh, okay. So.
Tom Kuntz leading the way for our Vet A 30+. Always some heavy hitters in this one. Papa P, Jeff Pickens in the 2 spot with Barrett in the number 3 position. Baby Mac, Michael McAvoy in 4th place. And Brad Whitehead rounding out your top 5 for your Vet A 30+. As we take a look now at our Senior A. And that's our leaders.
There we go. Walker Fowler in the lead at mile marker number 4.
In the blue.
In the blue.
Yep.
White
In the
chest
blue.
protector, a la Bill Balance.
Yes.
Looking very Bill Balance out there.
Let's see what we've done with a few miles.
Well, he came by that
Wow.
honest enough because he came
Oh,
into
for
it right
sure.
at the tail end of Bill Balance's
Yeah.
dominant reign and actually rode for the Balance team for a season.
Here we are. So
Look at that
Cole.
gap, though.
B-Neal. That is B-Neal. That is Cole. And then Hart.
Yep.
So Bryson Neal's been able to get around those guys now. So now let's see what Bryson Neal
needed.
He probably got both of them in the same line if I was to guess.
Yep, went 2 for 1. So Bryson Neal moves up into the 2 spot. Let's see what he can do. A little bit of clean air in front of him now. See if he's able to catch back up with Walker Fowler and
Abney.
There's Abney, my guy. I'm going to snub him every race now. He's doing well, man.
Yeah,
He's
he
doing
is.
well. Glass half full. He said, "Hey, thanks for forgetting about me, Mikey." In your face, buddy. Yeah, no, hanging in there. So it's going to be interesting to see what Neal can do now. And at the end of this lap number 3, and we kind of expect to see the white flag come out. I didn't catch 2-lap card last time around, but
I didn't get a 2-lap card either.
Maybe
No.
not. Let's see. Are we going to run them long? What are we going to do here?
No, I think
would
the math is 4 laps.
Okay, 2-lap card is out, so we will be getting the white flag here for this one. So
there it is.
Hey, stage is going to be set for a good dogfight between Bryson Neal and Walker Fowler. What everybody signed up for, you guys paid your pay-per-view tickets on racertv.com to see that battle. Oh, wait, it's free. That's right.
Oh, yeah,
Almost
that's right.
forgot.
That's right. Well, still a little while.
Free.
We're at mile marker number 4. Our next good look is going to be at mile marker 8. And didn't use the stopwatch to see the gap between Walker Fowler and Bryson Neal, but it was pretty sizable. It was very comfortable for,
what, 14,
for Walker
15 seconds probably.
Probably. But at the 8-mile mark, we'll have to count it down in our heads and see what that looks like.
So now it'll be interesting to see. I got to think Bryson Neal is going to turn it on. Your points difference: first place 30 points, second place 25 points. So does he want to give up 5 points, or is he going to be Bryson Neal and full throttle, full send? Is it in the back of his head? Oh, I just broke a swing arm and snowshoe. Don't want to do that again. Maybe I should settle in, and if it's there, go for it. Otherwise, ride my own pace.
Cody, I mean, we sit here and we discuss strategy, but what's really going through a racer's head in the moment?
Everyone's got a different story, different things they went through to get to where they're at, different learning curves, different things they've learned from. I can't tell you everything. Everyone's specific. Just try stay out of your own story.
So specialized rapid replay here. Going to get our eyes on a gap. And, Adam Gordon's on it. I've been out here counting with my fingers. Let's see where you're at versus where I'm at. All right, well, he might have looked at a different spot. So I'll keep quiet, let Adam Gordon tell us a gap, but I think it's right at about 20-something. About 20. So,
about
okay,
20.
that's about
I
what
had 25.
Okay, so hey, it's under 30, more than 20. There's your over-under.
There's your XC2 leader.
Jay Shad.
Yep.
But I got to say, Bryson Neal is going to chip away at that. I think
so.
he
But
was
still, that's probably the cushion that Walker Fowler wants to have.
Yes.
He'd love to have 20 seconds.
Yep.
But, yeah, I think you're right. Now that Bryson Neal has gotten around and he's in second place, he's got clear air. And we're not seeing, this is lap number 3, we're not seeing a lot of lap traffic through.
Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, it's been kind of impressive, honestly.
Yeah, it's been pretty calm. Not like it was for Cody's race earlier today.
Getting around lappers.
Let's not talk about it.
You got those big 4x4s. Come on.
Bowen's catching Merritt. We got to play nice.
That's
you
true.
Gotta play nice.
Oh, that's right. You guys have had the talking to every year.
Those before me ruined it for me. So now if I
listen to Cody.
All contact is violence for us. So I can't touch anyone.
We're approaching that words are violence.
Hey,
we're getting close now, aren't we?
Those big 4x4s, those are like registered weapons. You guys are like Mike Tyson. You got to register those fists, man.
Yeah.
4x4s.
I know a love bump when I want to give out a love bump, but.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, not allowed. That's a no.
Yep.
All right, well, Walker Fowler in control. Bryson Neal picks up a couple of positions, gets around Cole Richardson and Hunter Hart. Can the defending champ Walker Fowler hang on and grab a win? Or will the hungry Bryson Neal get back up there, making a battle here toward the end? We'll be right back after this.
Brown's RV Superstore is family-owned and operated and stake their reputation on offering you the finest RVs available in their McBee, South Carolina RV dealership. Brown's RV Superstore carries motorhomes, fifth wheels, travel trailers, and toy haulers, and keep a huge inventory of new and used RVs in stock for you to choose from. They offer top dollar for your RV trade-in and help you get the RV financing you need. As a part of the GNCC family, Brown's RV Superstore, in partnership with Vengeance Toy Haulers, offers sponsorship packages for every level of racer with discounts and continued savings on your new toy hauler. Brown's RV Superstore has dedicated themselves to complete customer satisfaction, specializing in providing a positive start to your RV adventure. They look forward to customers coming back to share their tales from the road. Call Brown's RV Superstore today at 877-805-3658 or visit their website at brownsrvsuperstore.com, where family fun begins.
We all have our reasons to accomplish, to work hard. We share a common goal, to be the best. Keep fighting, put in the work, never take the easy way. Your drive and determination fuels our passion.
My name is John Coffey, an AMSOIL dealer from Southern Virginia. Today's AMSOIL spotlight is going to be on some of our AMSOIL diesel fuel additives. The first one we have is our AMSOIL diesel injector clean. That virtually eliminates any kind of deposits on the injectors. It increases the performance of your vehicle, improves horsepower. It's a lubricant also. It will also lubricate the injectors and your injector pump. So you eliminate any problems with that. It'll actually increase fuel economy up to about 4.5%. So with the cost of diesel fuel today, any little bit will help. The next one is our cetane boost. That improves combustion. It also helps with startability, and it'll actually improve the cetane rating on your diesel fuel by up to 7 points. And then we have our diesel fuel with the cetane boost. So that's kind of like a combination of these two items right here in one bottle. That goes in every tank full of diesel fuel that I put in my tank right there. Then we also have an injector clean with a cold flow improver for cold temperatures where you need to make sure that the diesel fuel is not going to gel up on you. And then the last one here is kind of the granddaddy of them all. It kind of has all of them together. It's the diesel injector clean, it's the cetane boost, and it has the cold flow improver all in one bottle. Now, in the wintertime, I will switch to that in my vehicle. So that helps with the flow of the diesel fuel. It won't clog up the filter where you have a problem with that, and it's just not going to flow anymore. We also have one other product. It's a diesel recovery. So if you ever actually did have a problem with the fuel gelling up inside the filter area, you can remove your cap, pour that in there, and it'll dissolve those crystals in there as well, and you get you back on the road again. So that's basically all of our diesel fuel additives right there. And thank you, and I hope you have a great rest of the weekend.
Born of family values and a homegrown work ethic, Kinetic Gaskets seals your machine so you can focus on the finish line. Kinetic Gaskets are the competitive standard for racers who demand the very best. Kinetic Gaskets are constructed from superior materials designed to perform in the most demanding environment. Whether it's championships on the line or a day in the dirt with friends, professionals and enthusiasts depend on Kinetic. Kinetic Gaskets, sealing championships since 1989.
AMSOIL runs on freedom and has since 1972. We punish our products firsthand in our world-class laboratories and beyond, because some things can't be learned from a test tube. Run with us.
And welcome back to GNCC Live. Mikey Waynes alongside Chuck LeMaster as well as the Cody Collier, bringing you the Mountaineer GNCC round number 10 of this 2022 Grand National Cross Country Series.
Here we are at the 8-mile mark, waiting on the leaders.
Unbelievable that we're this far in the season. Can't believe summer break's over, man.
It happened in a flash,
It did.
I know some of our GNCC Racing Nation, especially some of the guys out here right now, they were out at the Heartland Challenge, and we had two-wheel guys out at two-wheel guys and girls out at ISDE.
Yeah.
And here we are. We're all back.
Oh, I got excited.
Yeah. No, it's a blue bike. It's that same lapper.
Hey, we're still excited to see you, though.
Yes.
We're excited to see him. It wasn't Walker Fowler, but we're still excited.
Nope.
Got some love.
Blue Yamaha with red gear, not Walker.
That was blue Honda.
Blue Honda?
That was a blue Honda.
Was it a blue Honda?
Blue Honda.
Oh, he tricked me. He got me.
Baby blue like the McGill used to run.
Yeah.
There you go.
Every year during the real off season, you know, it's the Adam McGill. What color is his bike going to be come the end of February? Could be a Kawasaki green Honda.
Oh,
He's done
yeah.
that.
Likes to mix it up.
It's like a big unveiling at round number 1.
The old Kimco.
The OG of that was when Boris did the red Suzuki in Florida, like 2010 River Ranch or something. That was
beautiful.
the OG color swap. That was the one I remember. Then he did an all black Suzuki. That thing was sharp.
Ooh, that did. Nice. I remember that. Yep, that looked really good.
All right, so is lap traffic going to play a factor? A lot of single track, essentially difficult for guys to find a place to pull off to the side, let these guys around. Maybe that's what happened when Bryson Neal made the pass.
Here we go.
Picked up two positions.
The speed differential.
But still out of sight.
Yeah, he's still out of sight.
Yep.
This is mile marker 8. Okay, 1.
There we go.
Start counting.
We're counting. It was
20
What did we say? 25 seconds? 20-something, yeah, we'll go with that. It's at least that. Man, Walker Fowler is getting it done right now, and
I'd say it's 20-25. There he is.
I got 25.
Yeah.
It's about the same spot that I started counting right there. So Walker Fowler maintaining that pace.
B-Neal matching instead of fading, and then everyone else is able to key off of B-Neal. Cole's now running that pace. Hunter, it looks like we've dropped back, made a mistake. Maybe it was bad luck with the lapper. Maybe it was just a bobble, rider error. But you'll have that. And there's Hunter Hart.
There's Hunter Hart. Yeah,
scooting.
One little mistake. See what happens. Maybe lappers will help him. Got to keep racing forward.
Yeah.
Hope for some good luck.
Certainly riding with a sense of urgency right there. Not totally smooth, but definitely on the throttle, trying to make up that time that
and would you
he
look
had
at
between
this?
them. Is that my guy?
That's your guy.
That's my guy. There
That's
you
your
go.
guy.
There you go, Austin Abbey.
Still in sight. He's in podium position. Lappers work out for him.
I'm looking
Honestly.
forward to talking to our top 3. Maybe Austin ends up a top 3. I don't want to.
If Abney gets on the podium, just don't talk to him.
He'll be like, nope, not talking to you.
You got to do it again. They come back for round 11.
Oh, it's funny. It might be like, I use the boxing analogy all the time. It's, you get in the ring and you're nervous, and then that first time you get hit in the mouth, you're like, okay, now I'm ready to go. I accidentally hit Austin Abney in the mouth, and he's like, I'm ready to go. Let's do this. So he said, you know what?
Rodney Tomlin on him, huh?
If you're not going to say my name at the beginning, I'm going to make you say it all race long. We always tell that. It's funny, mostly at at GNCC, I pretty well, I'm not going to say everybody's name I got dialed, but pretty well everyone, even the ones with all of the vowels and all the consonants. But at motos, sometimes I get weird names in there, and I'm like, listen, if I said your name wrong, come correct me. The best way for me to learn your last name, make me say it. Get a top 5, get a top 3, because then I don't have a choice but to just keep saying your name. So there's my message to the kids out there with tough names.
Good thing.
It's not your fault, but now you got to do something about it.
That's it.
Up the FMF PowerPoint.
And Feehan not really falling off the pack either. He's still staying in the camera shots. So riding well, Feehan.
So just under called about 2.5, maybe 3 minutes left to go for lap number 3, and we'll get the white flag out. And it will be interesting to see if Bryson Neal wants to go to work and really push to get up there into the fight with Walker Fowler, or if he's going to settle in to that number 2 spot and just take a decent point stay. We get 25 for second place.
Which is the smart thing to do.
Which is the smart thing.
Here's Cole. Uh-oh.
So did Cole, unless I don't think we missed Bryson Neal.
No, I really don't think we did either. There's a good almost 10 seconds there, and there he is. Neal. Made a mistake. You'll have that. Yep. Probably just tagged a tree, bounced off, took back off, just enough for Cole to split by.
Now we got some excitement for
Hunter Hart.
He said, move, go.
Yep.
Now if he finishes third is 21 points. So there you're talking a 9-point difference between third and first. So now,
two-point advantage.
Now it's kind of like, all right, you know what? Maybe I do want to push a little bit and at least get up around Cole Richardson. Richardson playing the spoiler role right now.
And what's fourth place? Hunter's right there.
Hunter's there.
What's the fourth place? Is that 19 points?
I believe so. Fourth, I'd have to look on fourth, is 18. 18 points, yeah.
Okay, 3-point.
So I'm sure they've all got their abacus out, beside their...
we got flashers. We got a flasher.
There's a dude.
Belly flasher's your dude. Got some excitement for Abney.
Yeah. Not near as exciting as Howard's hole at Snowshoe. But, at least there's an effort.
That's true. There you go. We are in West Virginia, after all.
That's right.
End up on
card still out. The white flag hid behind Ricky Towery's back there.
Guys out there trying to end up on Barstool WVU out there. That's what happened. Famous. I'm internet famous. Looking at our finish line, Ricky Towery there. 2-lap card in one hand. That white flag tucked behind his back. So keeps his eyes open for what we expect to be that number 1, your defending champ, that Yamaha of Walker Fowler. Is it going to be win number 71? Or no, it'd be 72, I believe. Yeah, it'd be win 72.
And we got a lot of racing left to go, though.
I'm gonna put
entire lap.
I'm going to put him on the spot, though. If he does get the win, I'm going to say, what win number is this? And guaranteed, he goes, 72. I knew it. I knew you knew exactly how many you had. I knew it. We'll see. Waiting in the rain. Few folks out there braving it. They said, here he comes.
Yep.
There's Mama, Vicky Fowler, I believe.
And you can always tell Ricky Towery, he's pointing back to the scorers or whoever's back there announcing.
Y'all ready?
Here he comes, here he comes.
Here he comes. All right, here we go. He always says, there's Mom. Let's go, son. Go get number 7-2. Walker Fowler. Another day at the office for him, man. This looks like the days of old. Slip sliding through the ditch. Now, I'm pretty sure Tim Cotter told us not to ride through these ditches.
I'm pretty sure.
And here we are. That one's different. That's part of the race.
You can race through it.
Oh, no doubt.
Just don't be driving your 4x4.
No riding.
Yeah, no kidding. I saw a guy, I don't want to call him out, I'm not exactly sure who it was, Cadillac SUV.
Lapper.
Bottomed out the front end through one
Of
yesterday.
course.
And I'm like, oh, that was expensive.
Oh, yes.
White flag out. Man,
Getting
Walker
old.
Fowler.
And through pro pits before
all the
second
time in the
even
world.
comes through the finish.
All the time in the world. Perfect for Walker. He
Cole's-
can go out there,
Cole?
hit his marks. There's Cole. Yeah, Coltrane.
The little shoulder glance right there.
Wants to
Just
know
peeking.
exactly where Bryson Neal's at.
I think that was Bryson was the person we've seen their head cut across.
Okay.
The cameraman missed on it. Looked like I think that was Bryson. Hunter, I think, is leading this group. Yep, there's Hunter. Cannon Lappers. Cole. And the rain's consistent right now. It's really starting to. Dirt can't really hold any more moisture. There's Beaniel, yep, in third right there in the hot pursuit of Cole. And then Hunter just out of sight of these guys.
So Walker out front's got now that gap 43.5 seconds back to the Coltrane, Cole
Yeah.
Richardson. And Richardson, a decent gap between him and B. Neal, about 6.5 seconds. Hunter Hart checks in 15 seconds back, and there is Austin Abney rounding out that top 5. There's an 18-second gap between him and Hunter Hart. And we'll see what the gap is between Glotta and Abney. Glotta back in the 6th spot. Last time around, it was about 5 seconds. Looks like it's going to be more than that this time around. As a solid ride for the 703 of Austin Abney in that number 5 spot and just has not let up. Things seem to be clicking for him here today. Wants to close the season out strong. Love it. Would love to see him, into the season. That's home race for him. Petersburg, Indiana. That's a stone's throw from Ironman.
Is it?
It's maybe 20 minutes.
Oh,
if I'm
yeah.
driving, it's 15.
Okay.
I got pulled over on the way here. Don't want to talk about that. But I got off with a warning. He's a very nice
Okay,
police
so
officer.
we are going to talk about that.
I wanted to, it's funny. I get pulled over real fast, and I thought to myself, this weekend is our salute to our first responders, our law
That's right.
enforcement. And I'm like, I'm going to
Gotta
play
be
that
nice.
card. I'm going to tell that guy this. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to suck up. I'm just going to be respectful. And he was still very nice. So
Did you give him a challenge coin?
got off with a warning. I should have.
Mile marker 1, Walker Fowler dancing his way through the rock garden. And another 40 seconds back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think if you're Bryson Neal at this point with the white flag out, that pace, and he's getting pit boards as far as where he's at. I think I don't know about settle into third because he's right there with Cole Richardson.
Right, I
he
think
can
he tries to
certainly
make a pass.
Yeah, he can make something happen here on the last lap. But yeah, I don't think we're going to see Bryson Neal push to try and break something. He's not one to break. Priority 1, don't break a swing arm.
If I'm Bryson coming in scoring, I know Cole, his number is going to flash up on the transponder, and then you're going to get that time deficit. Oh, Neal's already got him.
And
here.
Neal's got him.
So, but he can look at Cole's time off of Walker and know the gap he's got. He probably knows he's not going to make up that gap by speed, so he's probably just going to put in a good lap here. He's been following Cole and Hunter all race. He knows their pace. He's like, all right, I got to turn it up 5%, and I can walk away from these guys. Oh, no. Sneaking on back to pits.
Not where we want to see Jared McClure as he heads back to the pits.
But that explains why we haven't been able to. We were looking for him earlier. Never could find him. He's getting a tow from
Rare
Trail Boss
breakdown.
Jeff Russell right there.
Rare breakdown for Jared.
Yeah, very rare.
Yeah, oh yeah, you're right.
Coming off the injury.
Yeah,
For a good
I was
day
just
for
going to
him.
say that. Yeah, that he
That's
had
right.
that injury.
This is his first race back
First
since
one back.
collarbone.
And hey, Jared McClure's all smiles. He says, not the day at the office I wanted, but I got
Better
to go out
than a
and
broken collarbone.
That's it. I got to go out and race my ATV. That was a nasty injury he had there. Never really seen. He's not, doesn't have a lot of expressions, Jared McClure, but when I went down in the pits after that injury or that wreck, you could tell he was in pain. And I just said, you want an EMT? And he's like, that would be great. Okay. We got him on the way, bud. Not a bad deal when your mechanic, your guy pitting for you is, also a first responder.
Yeah.
That kind of helps.
Yeah.
Double duty. So tough break for Jared McClure. Ends his day in the pits a little earlier than he wanted.
Yeah, definitely earlier than he wanted to, but man, he's been at this long enough that he takes his wins as he gets them.
Yeah. And you got to think how much longer some of these guys, Jared McClure, Chris Borich, Johnny Gallagher, of course, there's the number 7 machine moving through right there, Devin Feehan, and then, of course, Adam McGill. How much longer are these guys going to do it? You know, we got those young guns, those young boys are moving up in the ranks. So,
well, the longevity on the ATV side of things definitely outlasts the two-wheel side.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I've been on this series for 14 years now as the series chaplain, and Chris Borich has been here every minute of the way. Adam McGill, Johnny G.
Yeah.
You know, Walker Fowler was still he was still.
Walker started youth racing.
He was youth racing.
Yeah, correct.
He started the youth racing.
Bikes and ATVs.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Walker.
He was our first graduate from the youth ranks all the way up to the XC1 onto championship. So
it's going to be interesting to see how our sport progresses, you know, with Striders coming out in State 6. By the time these kids get on, you know, a P-Dub or they're racing even, you know, micro ATVs, they've already been riding since they were like 2.
Right.
You know, so just crazy. There goes the Gator.
That Borich just passed him right there.
He
Borich
did.
and the Gator in a battle.
As we're talking about the Wiley
Old
veterans,
school.
there's some old school GNCC
old school battling going on there.
Love it.
Just positions just a little bit different, but the battle's the same.
Yes.
Instead of for first, they're a little bit farther back, but still cool to see them out here. They've raised their families out here.
Oh yeah.
Gotten married. Had, you know, Chris Borich has a kid, and it's part of the fabric of the GNCC racing nation. Shadron right there.
Wanted to give a quick shout out to Adam McGill. I was going to try and squeeze in an interview with him, but we are already honoring our first responders. Adam McGill's going to have that gear auction, going to auction off some of his moose gear September 19th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Going to do it on, I believe, Facebook Live. And all that money, reason I bring it up, all that money is going to go to Vintage for Vets donation fund. So if you want to get a chance at getting some of Adam McGill's gear and that money going to a really good cause, certainly check out his social media and check out the auction he's going to have going on, again, benefiting the Vintage for Vets donation fund. That'll be taking place September 19th
at 7
p.m. on Facebook Live. So you can check out the Gators' social media post to find out some more on that. I caught him right before the start. He said, hey, could we do an interview? I said, well, we're doing the veteran thing up here. I don't know if I'll get an opportunity to, and sure enough, we rolled right into it. So I said, if nothing else, I'll make sure I get a shout-out for you there. So really cool that he's doing that for some of our veterans. Love that.
He's always been good to our veterans. He's always had a heart for them, always treated them with respect, and I sure appreciate that about Adam McGill.
Yeah, love it.
He's led the way in that category.
Got to send my brother-in-law's Air Force retired, was Vietnam veteran.
Really?
So he's a little older than I am, if that tells you anything, Vietnam vet. But I sent him the video this morning of our tribute to our vets, first responders, and he's like, man, Mikey, I love to see a sport this still means that much to them. I was like, well, this is where it's at. GNCC, second to none.
Second to none, for sure. I mean, this is... Tim Cotter on the starting line made a point of a newcomer to GNCC says, hey, man, I've never seen people stop. This many people stop for the playing of the national anthem. As well, it happens all the time out here. And, if you watch the news like I do, you're like, oh, our country's just falling apart.
Right.
Everybody hates everybody. You come out here and, man,
restores your faith in humanity.
It really does. It really does. We don't all agree on everything, but we don't need to.
Fine.
We don't want to. We're here to compete, and we get to know each other. It's become a family, and this is the fabric. This is the grassroots of America. This is Americana right here.
Amen. Gets me fired up just hearing it. Get goosebumps, man. I love that. I love that. So Walker Fowler turning back the clock, trying to get win number 72 and inch a little bit closer to the all-time wins leader, Chris Borich, who's got 75. We're not writing our check yet.
Nope.
Still got plenty of racing to go. We're just now looking at mile marker number 4 here on the last lap. About an hour and 45 into it probably. And the rain is coming down just in time for podiums. Fantastic.
Yes. Get to stand out there in the rain, get wet, maybe melt, sugar melts, right?
That's it. Bryson Neal able to move up into the 2 spot. He's had some back and forth with Cole Richardson. Neal's had his work cut out for him today. That big battle between him and Coltrane and Hunter Hart, those guys going back and forth, may have sorted itself out. But then again, hey, if you're Cole Richardson, I want to play spoiler. I'm going to be in between you guys. I want the 2 spot. So I don't think Cole's ready to just settle in for a number 3 on the day. So we'll see if he's got something for Bryson Neal before the checkers flies. And my guy, Austin Abney, good ride out of him today. Great to see him. He's been top 5 all day long as Walker Fowler pops on screen. We're not waiting anymore. There he goes. Don't blink. You'll miss him.
Yep.
And he's gone.
And he
Cole
gone.
Richardson sitting 6th in points right now, fresh off of a 2nd place in snowshoe. I think round number 3-ish, somewhere around there. He was 3rd. Since then, it's been, kind of not where he wants to be. So certainly he's not going to give up valuable points just because he's a nice guy today.
Oh, for sure.
So he'll be looking for a way to get back around Bryson Neal. Can he actually do it, though?
Yep, that's the thing.
Question.
That's the thing. So if it ended right now, still solid points day for B. Neal. Still got a pretty good gap between him and Walker. But Walker, I think at this point, you come into today kind of like he was alluding to, he's just got to come out and do his job. If you get a win, you're chipping away at it. If you're finishing ahead of Bryson Neal, you're chipping away at it. And then we see where we're at when we get to Ironman at the end of the year. But Walker Fowler doing exactly what he has to do at this point of the season if he wants a chance to catch up as far as the points are concerned with that guy right there, Bryson Neal.
Bryson Neal. Well, there's no the finish of, was it the Cody, you were around, was it 2010 or 2011 when Walker Fowler and Chris Borich were wheel to wheel at Ironman the
I
season?
want to say that was 12.
Okay, maybe it was 12.
I might be wrong, but I want to say 12.
It was somewhere around. It's a while ago. It's 10 years ago. And Chris Borich had been the dominant force for 7 years, I think, or for 6 years at that point. And so it was all came down to Ironman, and it all came down to like the second to last corner. And man, Walker tried everything. Chris Borich put the move on him. Chris Borich with the win, gets the championship, and Walker Fowler, just the consummate sportsman that he is, gave Chris Borich a hug at the finish line, and then has been winning championships ever since. But that was the battle. I think all fans would love to see it come down to Ironman again.
We need it.
Wheel to wheel, a duel, a battle, all race long, right down to the very end. May the best man win.
And if, speaking on behalf of Indiana, if the weather would just cooperate, because we had that stage set for our bikes last year, and the weather kind of decided to steal the thunder, pun intended.
Yes.
It made it interesting with both of them going like a lap down or whatever it was, and then that was interesting to watch on the way home.
Speaking of the Ben Kelly, Stu Baylor showdown there.
Yeah. Tough break, no Ben Kelly for the rest of the season, as he announced on social media. I was wondering, I texted him a while back. I was doing a MAV TV voiceover of one of the early rounds, and Ben Kelly winning. And I texted him. I was like, dude, kind of miss seeing you do this. And he's like, hopefully soon. And I'm like, soon doesn't sound like now.
No.
So
gotta heal up. Gotta if you mess up now, you'll never get it back right.
You're absolutely right.
Gotta take care of number one. So I do want to point out, Junior had closed into that Abney. Abney only seemed like he was about 10 seconds off of Hart though.
Okay.
So it looks like that 4th place spot's closing in.
So feeling some pressure and he's got to push.
Yeah. Getting slick, very slick. This rain's been consistent. As you can see, it's almost puddling on the track right now in the slick spots.
It's a steady drizzle at this point.
Oh, yeah.
It's stayed at it for almost an hour now.
Yep. We kind of moved from the sprinkle into a drizzle. Yep. And it's not too bad to stand out there unless you stand out there for too long.
Yep.
And then you get wet. So these guys having to manage their goggles because now you're starting to get some mud spitting up at you. And
I've seen a couple of our top riders without them on. This guy here without it on. Here's a blue Honda.
The blue Honda again.
That was him. Right. That was him.
That was him. I wonder who that was. We got to give him a shout out. The blue Honda with the red gear.
Yeah, Cole staying close to Beaniel though. That battle for second is not over. Cole's just trying to keep him honest, keep him close, and hope for a bobble. I think he knows that that Beaniel's faster today. Seems to be what's going on.
Yeah, but if he
Cole's
can keep
just
him in
able to
sight.
keep him honest, the lappers and what have it. You're just battle between Borch and McGill, the old heads, going at it.
Always fun to see.
Oh yeah. It's terrible riding by yourself for 2 hours. No one wants to ride by yourself for 2 hours. You want to get in some kind of race with someone. But
at the very least, link up and work your way through the lap traffic.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. We are coming down to the closing moments of this race, probably about 15 minutes away from the conclusion of this. So before that happens, though, we want to take a little break for our sponsors. We'll be back with more racing action right after this.
We all have our reasons to accomplish, to work hard. We share a common goal, to be the best. Keep fighting, put in the work, never take the easy way. Your drive and determination fuels our passion.
AMSOIL runs on freedom and has since 1972. We punish our products firsthand in our world-class laboratories and beyond, because some things can't be learned from a test tube. Run with us.
Ben Kelly here, 2021 GNCC champion. Subscribe to Racer X and get yourself a fresh FMF t-shirt.
Born of family values and a homegrown work ethic, Cometic Gaskets seals your machine so you can focus on the finish line. Cometic Gaskets are the competitive standard for racers who demand the very best. Cometic Gaskets are constructed from superior materials designed to perform in the most demanding environment, whether it's championships on the line or a day in the dirt with friends. Professionals and enthusiasts depend on Cometic. Cometic Gaskets, sealing championships since 1989.
This week in Yamaha history takes us back to September 24, 2005. It was the inaugural running of the Unadilla GNCC, and on a bright and sunny fall day in upstate New York, the then 8-time GNCC champion Bill Balance took to the early lead. The dry virgin course presented many challenges with rocks, roots, and the general terrain of the Unadilla Valley River for era greats like Bill Balance and his brother Brandon Balance, Santo DeRisi, Andy Lagsons, Chris Jinks, William Yoakley, Chad Duvall, and many, many more. As Balance had the lead early, he would run into some troubles, dropping to 3rd place and then eventually to 7th place at the midway point of the race before driving all the way back to battle with the leaders at the end. In the meantime, North Carolina's Brian Cook and Missouri's Brian Baker battled with West Virginia's Chris Jinks for the lead. Jinks found some problems at the midway point himself, and he dropped back all the way to 11th. With 2 laps to go, Brian Cook took to the lead, holding on to the top spot down to the wire to finish 1 minute and 3 seconds over Bill Balance and Brian Baker. And that's this week in Yamaha history. This Racer TV broadcast is brought to you by Specialized. Specialized Turbo e-bikes. It's you, only faster. And by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Get ready.
And welcome back to GNCC Live at RacerTV.com. I'm Chuck Leemaster, joined in the booth with Cody Collier. We are wrapping up. We are coming down to the closing moments of this Mountaineer GNCC race. We have sent Mikey Waynes down to the finish line to observe down there and catch some interviews with our winners as they come across. Right now, it's Walker Fowler with a commanding lead, Bryson Neal in 2nd place, Cole Richardson 3rd place, Hunter Hart in 4th place, and then Austin Abney rounding out our top 5 here. So as it stands right now, Cody, it looks like this should be Walker Fowler's to win. Just keep his head on straight.
Granted, there's no bottlenecks, no big mistakes from Walker. He's got this thing. Just finish out this race like you have been. Keep hitting your same lines, your same marks. Just keep doing your thing. You have this.
Well, we're watching the 8-mile marker right now, and it's been a static shot. We've seen a lapper or 2 come through here. We're not seeing big piles of them like we typically see in the morning races, so not huge bottlenecks. So maybe the lappers aren't as big a deal.
How many racers are there in this race? Or is there like over 200?
I didn't catch that number. I don't think that there are.
Yeah. So like that will have, if there's like 150 or less in this PM race, it's pretty thin.
Right.
For these guys. They got the biggest course for the ATVs of the day, so it's pretty spread out for the most part. Our lappers today were pretty spread out as well, but you just catch a bunch of them here and there.
I'll tell you what, looking at timing and scoring, we have 110 riders checked in with at least 1 lap in.
That's minimal.
Yes.
And 40 of them aren't even going to get lapped. So,
right.
And then another 20, 30 are breaking down.
And that's what we've seen on screen, too, is we've only seen a few lappers come in here or there. It doesn't seem like they're as big a deal as they often are.
Yeah. Some
right,
smaller numbers today, and here's a couple more lappers, and rolling on through.
So we should see Walker Fowler come through momentarily. We know that he's got 4 or 5 lappers ahead of him, but they're spread out enough that, man, they should hear him coming. And when me, as a slower rider, when I hear an XC1 guy coming up, I know it, and I'm already looking for, all right, where am I going to be able to get over, especially this late in the race when I'm tired. No. Looked like somebody was coming up aggressively, but not quite. So definitely more lappers than we've seen at this camera shot all race, but nonetheless, I don't think it's insurmountable for a guy like Walker Fowler.
No, just try to let them know ahead of time and get them thinking about him before he's there, before they can cost him any time.
Right. I never really gave much consideration.
Oh, that's Walker.
That's Walker.
That was a Walker Fowler line. He went straight. There was an S turn there, and he went straight.
He just straightened out the curves.
Beautiful line by Walker Fowler, showing why he's the champ.
Dukes of Hazzard style, straightening the curves. All right, and he's right where he wants to be, 8 miles in.
We wait second.
A little over 10-mile long track.
Yeah, while we wait on Bryson, here's some mayhem on the Pro Hill Walker's going to have to avoid. See right there? Nice and easy get around.
Yeah.
Keep moving. It looked like that guy spun out too. But
Lapper back at the 8-mile marker here.
Oh, no. Now he's going to have to hit that right line. This is trouble.
Yeah, this could be trouble. We got 4 riders on the hill at the FMF PowerPoint, mile marker 10. We have 4 riders stuck on the hill in the main line. There is a line off to the right, but as soon as a couple of these guys get freed up, they're going to roll into that line. And Walker Fowler is not too far off. Right now, he's probably about hitting that fire road.
He's going to be there in the next minute or two.
Yeah.
It is not going to be long.
Right. We're starting to get some mud fleas out, but our crowd has definitely thinned. Oh, look how steep that hill is. You don't get the sense of it in
you don't get the depth. You don't get the depth.
No.
None of it.
You know this is steep because you already rode it today, but looking on camera, we kind of have to look at how well people are standing. They're struggling. Everybody is struggling. Okay, so see, now we got both lines blocked.
We'll see what happens.
Get that ATV turned around, out of the way.
Walker's smart. He knows he has this big lead. He'll just go around this.
Oh, man. And our bottom guy here is just wedged up against the tree and an ATV. So, oh, man. Yeah, leaders are coming. And both lines are blocked. There's no way around this right now. Like, if Walker were to show up right now.
He's going around. He's going to have to go around.
Oh, is there a way? Is there a chicken line around this?
Yeah, there is. It just goes right. Maybe 10 seconds if this is clear.
Okay.
With this being like this, I don't think it would be any faster. Here comes another lapper.
Here we go.
Sending it. All right.
Oh,
all right. And we're
he's
stuck.
not going to make it.
And we're stuck.
He gets himself stuck. He should have taken the chicken line.
Backwards. And here's another one.
Oh, he's got clear. Okay, leaders.
Right,
there's Walker Fowler right there.
He's going to go
Very
around.
Smart. Going to take the.
He's got gas. Keep moving. Don't even get in that nonsense.
Yep, you get into that nonsense, and that's going to that could kill your race right there. As our lapped riders are figuring out right now, like, man, I shouldn't have charged up this. I should have gone around it. Oh, I've been there myself.
We wait. Probably a Bryson.
Hey, cameraman. Hey, you got to move out of my way here. Nobody can see. Was that Bryson that came up?
No, not yet. No,
we should be
we're
seeing
waiting.
Bryson.
There's a Bryson Neal
spotter.
Yeah,
right there in the trash bag. Apparently, there's still a jam up there because the spotter is looking at the hill, trying to figure out what he's going to tell his rider to do. I don't see any blue spotters out there, so nobody telling Walker what to do. He just had to figure it out himself.
They're just waiting at the finish.
Yeah. Because the finish is right around the corner from here. You know, it was a 40-second gap. I think it's bigger than that right now. Not that it matters because the checkered flag is right around the corner. But
there's Bryson.
There's Bryson able to, okay, hill is clear.
We are clear. All systems a go. And Cole right there.
Yeah.
There's not really anywhere else to pass for Cole. Look at Cole shaking, trying to get traction up the top of that hill. Getting them Havocs to dig. There's not really anywhere else left to pass for Cole, sadly. You can stay close and hope for a spin out or just to pinch him off somewhere maybe, but not a lot of options left for Cole. Looks like Walker's going to take this one home, and Bryson and Cole rounding out your podium.
It should be. Should be. As long as those pit strategies worked out and enough gas in the tank.
Oh, yeah. They all pitted, beginning of lap 3?
Beginning of lap 3.
So there.
Should be good. Boy, it's GNCC racing, though. Pins and needles until you cross that checkered flag. Don't take anything for granted. But nice little crowd gathered up down there. I know Mikey Waynes is making his way down there. See a lap rider here. And he's seeing a big crowd and a white flag. He's like, what?
And you know what sucks for him? You know what sucks for him?
He's got a whole lap to go.
The leaders are coming. He's going to be running for 2:45. It's going to be his finish time.
There's a pull-off right here, just off the camera.
The last lap is optional. You don't have to do it.
Right.
But no, best of luck to them guys.
Yes. Yeah, it takes heart to finish it when you're that far, when you're that close to getting lapped. It takes heart to do that last lap. You know you're just seconds away. There's also a lot of pride in saying, I stayed on the lead lap.
Yeah, stepping stones. You go from a guy that gets lapped, and then you start not getting lapped,
right?
And then you start, progressing.
That's it.
You got to start somewhere.
That's the whole goal right there.
And here we go.
I see fists in the air.
Vicky Fowler. Fists in the air.
Walker Fowler taking it smooth. And takes the win. Checker flag, Walker Fowler, number 1. Walker Fowler taking home win number 72 today here at the Mountaineer GNCC.
Good clean ride, just classic Walker Fowler.
Classic Walker Fowler getting met by his dad Danny and Mark Dautman, his mechanic over there, getting some quick words. We should be seeing Mikey Waynes come up on screen here fairly soon. As soon as we see Mikey Waynes, we definitely want to hear what Walker Fowler has to say. I see that he's pitched his goggles that are in his hands. His face barely clean. He must have just lost his goggles.
He finished with them.
Oh, did he finish
them?
Yeah. Okay. Smart guy, man. There was that one year at Kentucky, the Mammoths, when he got a rock in his eye, and that was, I'll bet you that was a life lesson for him.
Him and his dad, if you talk to him about goggles, they are the two, over the top serious about everyone wear your goggles, and it's great that they're like that.
It about ended his career. He got some grit in his eye and ended up in the hospital, and his vision was, it took a while for his vision to come back. So he is definitely very serious about his goggles there, and I don't blame him a bit.
Hey guys, just to jump in there real quick, Walker Fowler, we went to go talk to him and he said, I got to watch the finish of this race. I've never been a bigger Cole Richardson fan in my life. So as he watches, we'll stay and turn it back to you guys and wait on these guys to check in.
I see he's talking to Cole Richardson's dad right there on screen. So
there's Cole. Did he get him? I think he got him. Yeah, there's Benio in third.
Wow.
Cole pulled it off. How about that?
How did Cole do that?
It's slick. It's so slick. Yeah.
Waiting on my timing and scoring.
Cole pulled it off
up here. Good old technology here. Everything's frozen up. There it is. It's official. Cole Richardson in second place. Bryson Neal in third place. 6.9 seconds behind Cole Richardson, who is 1 minute 29 seconds behind Walker Fowler. So there's our official running order of the day. The finishing order is Walker Fowler, first place. Cole Richardson in second. Bryson Neal in third. And with that, maybe now Mikey Waynes can get a word in edgewise with Walker Fowler. Nope, he's standing right there. You see him listening in his ear. Go ahead, Mikey.
All right, sounds like you guys threw it down to us down here. A little trouble hearing you, but I think you did. Nonetheless, Walker Fowler getting ready for an interview right here. He said, I hope it rains like this the rest of the season. We need technical. We need slow. This was a good old-fashioned win for Walker Fowler. He said, never been a bigger Cole Richardson fan in my life. Mikey, I'll be right back. I got to go watch the finish of this one. So, Walker, man, you got the fresh jersey getting on you right there. Talk to us, man. A first-place finish. This was old-fashioned Walker Fowler win, man. Start to finish, it was your show today.
Boy, that felt good. I love these, like I said, a little bit more technical race, a little slower pace, but I knew Bryson was probably going to try to move to second that last lap. I knew I had about a 25-30 second gap. Man, it felt like I was turtling. It was so slippery. It wasn't, we look muddy, but it wasn't necessarily mud. But man, does that stuff get greasy. And I was like, man, if I'm just going to try to, I need to keep myself out front. And if he's able to make up 25 or 30 seconds, more power to him, because it's so slippery. I'm not willing to push that hard and ruin a potential first place finish. So I just kept it on the straight and narrow. And man, just feels so good. 2 in a row. West Virginia was good to us this year. Hopefully we can split Ohio with Bryson, and man, him getting a third makes it even tighter for the fans. This is what everyone wants to see. So, like I said in the pre-race interview, at this point, I actually don't care who wins. it's just going to be a really good story at the end. The fans are into it again, and that's all I care about. You know, I've had a great career. It's not over yet by any means, and I'm still having a blast. But yeah, you always want to win, but you know it's not coming easy. These guys, man, it was just all day. I was just trying to inch away, and that's experience definitely paid off.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot. We had the little interview with you. He said, I got 70-some wins. You know, it is what it is. What win number was that?
I actually forgot over summer break, and I have no idea. Maybe 72?
There you go. Mark Notman with the confirmation on the side, 72. All right, so he's sticking to his guns. You didn't know 3 away from the all-time winner, Chris Borich.
We could tie it this year. That's the crazy part, right?
Hey, if you do, you win out.
And yeah, win out, and then yeah, you would clinch a championship. But I'm not saying that C word ever again until it happens. So one race at a time, Mikey. One race at a time. That's there was 8 hours of racing coming in. The Mother Nature gave us a show. There's 6 hours left, and we're ready to put in the effort to do everything we can to.
There you go. Your winner of the Mountaineer GNCC, Walker Fowler.
All right, great interview there, Mikey Waynes. Sure enough, man, he is just focused on day by day, win by win, race by race, and Walker Fowler got it done today there, surrounded by his family. You got Vicky Fowler back there as his dad and his mechanic right there with him. So congratulations to Walker Fowler. Chime in whenever you're ready, whenever you round up Cole Richardson. Can't wait to hear what he has to say. Lots of back and forth between Cole Richardson and Bryson Neal. Looks like you found Cole Richardson right there.
All right, I think we're ready for Cole Richardson down here. I just got done talking to your biggest fan, Walker Fowler, man. Dude, I'm telling you, he jumped off the quad. He ran to the finish. He said, Mikey, forget you. I got to go root for Cole Richardson. You come in a second place, a back-to-back podiums. You had one at the end of right before summer break. You come back out, back it up with another one.
Yeah, you know, we got off to a good start. We brought a new bike out, and, you know, we got comfortable on it. And we were running good there with Walker there for a while. I got the lead. He got it back. And I don't know what happened there, if I just got a little, you know, dazed, and he just all of a sudden, you know, got a gap on us. And, you know, I think Hunter was in the mix there for a while, and Bryson got up on me. And, you know, I know these guys are battling for points, and, you know, I did let him around and, you know, gave him his shot. And, you know, unfortunately, he kind of stuck it in that berm. And I need points to make up, too, to get back up into, you know, the top, or at least, you know, third and points. So, you know, I know it's a tough day for him, and they're battling close, but I'm pumped to get second, and hopefully Walker's giving me a cut.
There you go. Go get your cut, man. There you go. Your second place finisher, the Coal Train, Cole Richardson.
Well, there you go, Mikey. Just like we said in the booth here, Cole Richardson, you know, he can be a nice guy to a point, but he's got to make up his points too. He's looking for championship ending point or season points, and he got some valuable points today. That's 2 seconds in a row. Snowshoe and now Mountaineers. I would say that West Virginia has been very good to Cole Richardson as well, and now it is definitely nice to see Bryson Neal back in the running. We missed him at Snowshoe there. Solid points day. He still has the championship lead. As soon as you round him up, stick a microphone in his face. We look forward to hear what he has to say. And right there, it looks like we've got him on screen. So back down to you, Mikey.
You got to do it in these last 3, man.
Yeah, you know, after the last race of Snowshoe was already disappointed going to summer. We had one heck of a summer, a lot of gains. I didn't get a great start today. I got about mid-pack, but it was super, super hard to pass. And I got to about 4th place, and I could not hardly find any way around Hunter. And then when I got around Hunter, it was hard to get around Cole, and then the rain started coming down. It was hard to separate from that point. I clipped a tree. I got some clear track, and right before we got the white flag, the FMF PowerPoint, I clipped the tree, came off the bike, Racer TV cameras, they got it. It was a good one. So other than that, I got back up. I was able to pass Cole back, rode the whole race, and then right here, right before we came out into the field section for the finish line, I just stuffed it into the berm, and I didn't make the corner. I gave it up to Cole. So I was okay with getting second today with the mud and all that, but to give it up another position right there at the end, that one really peed me off. So I'm a little bit mad at myself, but nothing we can't do. Still got a 2-point lead, still 3 races left. Still healthy. Bike's working great. So we're going to take the positives. We got through a nasty, slick day today. The bike was working awesome. Everything. I'm so happy. My pit crew, everything was going great. So just try to get out front a little earlier next round. It's the hometown track in Athens, and get back at it. So,
hey, there's no place like home as we head to Ohio.
There's no place like home, so we're looking forward to it. And looking back, hopefully we get some dry conditions and some straight-up racing.
There we go. He wants dry, straight-up race conditions. Walker Fowler wants the rain. What will happen in a few weeks? We'll have to find out. We'll throw it back to you guys. Your third-place finisher, Bryson Neal.
All right, Mikey, great job down there at the pits there. Well, an hour and 57 minutes of racing, an hour and 57 minutes and 19 seconds of racing. It all came down to this. Chuck Leemaster in the booth here, joined by Mikey Waynes, Cody Collier. We had a blast bringing you today's Mountaineer GNCC. We are going to see you in 2 weeks at the Burr Oaks. Till then, take care, God bless, race hard.